like the Spartans.
Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados right here on Think Critical YouTube. The popcorn gallery are already out of control. We should have a good time, though, with your Saturday morning delight is back. We will talk all things geeky. We got lots of comic book news and a couple of special guests, including Mr. Vaughn Coleman. So you got a Kickstarter right now. How many more days do people have to back this son bitch?
Well, so it's in the late pledges, but it's only going to be there for probably about a week or so left because I'm just sending it off to the printer. So it's like being lettered right now. But I guess about a week or so, I'd say you have left.
So I've heard it's like a rock take on Wuthering Heights.
No.
No, okay. Well, why don't you sell it, buddy? What is it?
Yeah. So Phenomenova is a superhero story set 20 years after World War III and follows a brand new generation of heroes inspired by the veterans that fought during the war. I always say in an age of deconstruction, it's a reconstitution and of the genre. Reconstruction. That's what I always say. In age of deconstruction, it's a reconstruction. We got the first 4 issues available right now. And the first three are already done. The 4th is going to be done soon. Yeah, Mana Culture right there. So if you like this series, definitely I'd say check it out. Or if you're interested, we also have it on my website right here. 1, 2, and 3 are on there. If you're unsure if you want to back yet, we've got digitals. It's on Global Comics too. I always try to make my stuff as accessible as possible. And I'm going to be doing a ton of cons. Like if anyone's in Denver or Phoenix or Heroes Con, I'm going to be at all of those soon. So yeah.
Oh, very nice. Making the rounds.
Oh yeah. I'm deciding to hit the big ones. Now that I've done a lot of the safe stuff, I'm like, all right, I could get out there.
Maybe next year we'll see you at the Met Gallery. That'd be fun, right? Met Gala.
We'll see you at the Peanut Gallery.
I'd rather go there, honestly. The Met Gala. I don't know if
you could paint your fingernails, throw a little eyeliner on like David Bowie. Be real butch.
Yeah, there was those outfits we were going through. Is it required to wear like occult stuff? There's a lot of weird occult imagery. I'm like, this is like a Met Gala? This is like a requirement?
My favorite was Sarah Paulson showing up with a dollar bill over her eyes as some kind of like protest against the rich. And it's like, you're worth
you and I couldn't go to the Met Gala.
Yeah, you're worth like $16 to $60 million, something like that. And it cost $100,000 to even get a ticket to this thing.
That is insane. It's ironic, Aaron, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of miss Kanye and Bianca. They had.
I miss Alanis Morissette, dude.
Oh,
isn't that ironic?
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's one of those events where if there was a meteor strike, I'd be like, that's a shame.
Man. Hirsch, they're already chanting your name in the comment section, dude.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, you should stop that. But I don't know why you're doing it.
Eagle Black Kitty seems to be a pretty big fan. I wouldn't want to shut anybody down, dude.
Well, no, I mean also evil. I'm not messing with Evil Black Kitty. That's gonna wipe me out. But no, I'm here for Doc. That's I'm here filling in Doc.
Yes, Doc let me know yesterday that actually he had like a memorial service to go to, and I was scrambling at the last minute to find a replacement. And thankfully, the Perch of Comics decided to step in for it.
Yeah, here we are. Well, it's good to be with everybody. It's a good group, and thanks. Good way to start off the weekend.
It's a pretty good group. That Vaughn Coleman guy's a little shifty, so I'd be wary.
Oh no, what I do?
Wear an eyeliner.
No, the problem is that I'm not wearing eyeliner. I think was the complaint.
I don't know. I thought the problem was Sully was saying like you want to be butch like David Bowie.
Yeah,
like
this is all projection. Everyone's like, "Hey, Vaughn, you're all the things you are. I'm not those things." Okay, well now you are those things, and we're ragging on you for being those things. I'm like, come on,
Vaughn. We've painted an image of you in our heads, and we're gonna make fun of it.
Yeah, I'm like, there's material to work with.
It's like the definition of how Wes views everything.
No, Vaughn was the last guy to show up, and I was like, I can just imagine you in the mirror going, "Are you the second
I
voice?"
felt bad for. It was. I don't know, dude. Every time I get ready for a live stream, my computer decides, "Hey, would you like me to restart now?" I'm like, "Could you do it any other time?"
I've had that. Yeah.
Every time, it's always that. So yeah,
It happens. This is a big week, Dylan. We got the Punisher special that you've been hyping up for weeks. Did it live up to your expectations?
Well, that's not true. I've not been hyping up for weeks, but I also have not watched it. But I saw that clip of CGI John Bernthal falling for what felt like 30 seconds.
dude,
that was very funny looking.
I
haven't watched
it. GTA cutscene, dude.
Dude, it's like you'd think that would be just a couple frames or like a second or two, but it felt so long when he's slow-mo falling CG, like full CG body double. That looked rough. I did not hear good things about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Listen,
Yeah,
guys,
you told me you were excited for it. You thought it was going to be good.
Well, I was hoping it would be good. I like John Bernthal, I like Punisher, but like I said before, they haven't gotten him right in a while since like Daredevil's. Well, since Punisher season 1, which they still did some stuff I didn't care for there, but it was decent. And what they did with him in Born Again season 1 was terrible, where he's like, "I'm gonna take out all these dirty cops." So Punisher, with his big plan, decides to go in there with no plan and a pistol, and that's it. And he like gets taken out instantly and captured. This made him a retard. So,
Dude,
but Dylan, let me ask you this: what if Jigsaw's scars were more psychological than physical?
yeah, what if you barely had any scars?
Dude,
Yeah, just like you had his face dragged up and down, shattered glass, just back and forth like a cheese grater. But the scars, they're really more emotional. It's like when Kane finally took his mask off. The burns were in his head.
I couldn't even make it through season 2 of
I couldn't make it through
Netflix
season
Punisher.
1. I couldn't make it through season 1.
I liked season 1. I thought it was decent. I don't care for the whole conspiracy to kill his family instead of just he was there and the mob killed his family and like that's it.
But that was
I didn't care for the whole conspiracy. But I thought it was decent enough and there was fun action and everything. So I made it through. Season 2 was terrible.
I couldn't get through season 1 for that reason because I'm like, this is so I'm like, didn't we just resolve the family stuff? We're gonna make it the entire government bad. Like, you know what I like about the Punisher is simple. He's got, all right, who are some bad people? I've got a gun. Let's kill them. Boom. That's it. Well, Mike Barron's hit run, he would like base them on serial killers. He based them on like these horrible people. It's so satisfying for that reason. And it's like
there's a tendency among writers in writers' rooms to overcomplicate things.
I've noticed.
It's like to draw a bunch of connections that aren't there to be like, I'm a big boy and this is a serious project. So it's like now instead of the Punisher just being random chance, that his family was caught in a mob hit on on a random day at the park. Now we have to have this big conspiracy theory and we have to add all this stuff to it. And Duke has to be dating the Baroness and her brother is going to be Cobra Commander. It's like we have to draw all these extra lines in the plot to make us feel like we justified our job.
Frank Castle is not a simple character, though. He became a Frankenstein. He became an angel. And then he also became the Herald of Galactus.
It was becoming an
Castle's
angel
really
that allowed him to become a Frankenstein.
A very layered character.
There's nobody who's been messed with more as Marvel than Punisher, I think. I mean, that dude has gone every direction for every genre and every hero set. And for such a simple character, I guess that's the part that's most aggravating because it's not a complex character you're dealing with. You can certainly put nuance to him, but you do not have to overthink that one. But he has been everything.
Yeah, it always just feels weird when he's not Punisher.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least we had that long run where he was like the mage of Weird World, and we remember all those comics. That was a big deal.
Well, yeah, I mean, they made some groundbreaking changes when they sent me to Weird World.
Yeah,
Jason Aaron.
I've read.
How can we make him NFL Super Pro? That'll be our next iteration of him.
I think he was NFL Super Pro.
So I've read obviously like in terms of Punisher, I've read Circle of Blood and like the beginning of Mike Barron's run, but I have a lot more I want to get through. Like I know everyone likes that run. I know Chuck Dixon did a ton of great stuff. People love Garth Ennis's run. That's the stuff I've heard is the most essential.
The Garth Ennis stuff is great, but it's almost not like the Punisher.
Yeah, it's not canon, right? It's its own.
Because he's wiping people out in Vietnam and getting his CO killed and stuff like that.
Right.
It,
That was really good too.
it was
Yeah, well,
really
yeah.
good.
I mean, I
it's
like
good, but that it's not really like a lot of people pull from that for 616 Punisher, and it's like that's not the same.
right. Like
I don't know what you guys are talking about because you guys are talking about Vietnam, but according to Mark Waid's official history of the Marvel Universe, there was no Vietnam. There was something called the Trans-Siberian Conflict, I believe. And that's where all this took place. You guys didn't read like a decade ago and they were trying to like, okay, we're going to streamline the Marvel Universe, but they never want to do a reboot like DC and they never want to just, it's like you can ignore it or you can do a reboot, but Marvel has to, no, we have to get in there and we have to explain things. So they did that whole, the history of the Marvel Universe book and Wade had to do like a bunch of, okay, it wasn't World War II, it was this. This is where, Reed met Nick
Tony
Fury
wasn't in Vietnam. Tony's now in the in Desert Shield or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's why like with my universe I try and not have dates as often. I mean, mine's set in a future primarily. That was part of the reason too. It's set in an alternate future. So even if World War III were to happen, God forbid, it wouldn't be like mine. But it's because of stuff like that. Like I'd be reading like 80s X-Men comics and be like, oh, a couple years have passed. I'm like, what are you or be like months have passed. I'm like, this has been maybe like a week of continuity. What? Or they'd be like, oh, Jean Grey died in 1980. I'm like, no. No,
One of those things you have to get over. With
yeah. Oh, I got over it.
It's just Basil from Austin Powers, right? You just look into the camera and you go, try not to think about it too hard, and that goes for the rest of you too.
Yeah, and that's the answer. Like, but for all of you and the people, does anyone really care about this stuff? And this is not about caring about continuity. You obviously care about continuity, but I think the majority of comic fans do not really need to contemplate how many years it's been since Captain America has been frozen, or they're perfectly fine with it being Vietnam, and in theory, Punisher should be 80 years old, but he's not. I mean, I don't really think any comic fans inherently care about that unless you force them to care about it. And why do that? It's easier just to roll with it. People go with it. This is when you start explaining it that you're putting it in their face, and then they get stupid.
Nobody puts tires on the Batmobile. It doesn't exist.
Well, sure. Yeah. Why do you need that story? Do you need the story of the carburetors out in the Batmobile at a clutch moment? Is that really useful?
Yeah, or how is it? It's literally logistically impossible for Batman to be in all these books and also run a company. And
it sounds like somebody hasn't read Scott Snyder and Sean Gordon Murphy's story 27.
I have not
at all. Yeah.
Does it explain? Is it good?
Yeah, it's fucking Scott Snyder and Sean Gordon Murphy on a Batman book.
Okay.
It's a short story, though. Is that in Detective Comics like 800 or something?
It was in one of the anniversary ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on. I think I have. All right. Oh, is it one of the 800 you said?
Just tell us what the story's about, Wes, for those who don't know, because I don't remember the story.
Story time. Yay.
Listen, dude, I'm not here to fucking walk you across the finish line. Be an adult and go read the goddamn story yourself.
Wes, what's love like?
I have no idea.
You know exactly what it's like. It's kind of like going to find my.
No, 27 is every 27 years, Batman clones himself and a new Batman comes out.
See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Isn't that it, right?
Sort of. I mean, it's like it's intended to be the big backup idea for Batman, but I mean the point is, yes, you could write a story of Batman.
Thanks, I hate it.
ATM. You could write the story of Bruce is sitting at home and notices a weird charge on his credit card and calls into customer support, and they have to send him a new one, and it comes in FedEx and he has to wait for it. You could certainly write that story, but why write that story?
Right.
I would love a Batman gets catfish story.
I mean,
he's fell in love with a princess, and it turns out it's just some dude in like Thailand.
It's a Joker.
Listen, Batman's got to stop the Joker, and time is of the essence. But also, Batman's really got to poop.
He's got a terrible case of the gout.
Oh my god! Here's the thing: someone theoretically could do good stories with premises like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to read about Batman's bodily,
but like not Bat. I was gonna say, but not Batman.
I mean, I guess it depends. Like Superman versus Meishi did it like that, like something mundane. Like, hey, I'm Superman. I'm in a manga, and I love food. And look at this, and it was fun, and it wasn't serious, but it was really fun, but it was mundane. It was just like what you're talking about here. Like,
that was a good series, but you also knew like that one advertised right up front. Superman's eating in this. Like you knew. So there's no like you pick it up and like, oh,
Bait
is
and
he gonna
switch,
taste like
yeah.
Luthor? Nope, he's eating. That's the point. And that's fine. That's fine.
But then he's
So
got to
Dylan-
face Lex Luthor in the great eat off.
Dylan, we do have somebody in the comment section. They want to know, are you going to be playing Lego Batman? And to back that up, I want to know, are you going to be starting a guild? Can we all join? Will you be leading the effort?
Not every game has a guild. This isn't World of Warcraft, but yeah, I'll be playing Lego Batman. Hopefully
Dude,
it's
it
good.
looks good.
It looks fun, but the Skywalker Saga was terrible, which was like the last big Lego game they did. So hopefully this is better. But I'll
No,
be
How
playing
can
it.
the
Yeah,
Skywalker Saga be terrible? It's just the original trilogy, right?
it's the
No, they
the
redid
entirety
it.
of all of them, but it was
All
really
nine.
bad. Yeah,
But can
because
you
they
just
revamped
Stop
everything.
after Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, that's what I did, but it was still really bad. Like just
Oh.
the game design, everything was bad. In that
Well, dude,
game.
the original
hopefully they-
complete saga masterpiece.
Very fun. Those games are very fun, but
That
the
was-
Skywalker Saga was not it.
Confession, that was my first introduction to Star Wars was Lego Star Wars.
See, there you go.
You know, I was at a friend's house and they were like, do you want to play Lego Star Wars? Like, yeah. And then I played Lego Star Wars, like, this is awesome. And my mom goes, we're gonna watch it. And then she put on the original, like a good mom, instead of episode 1. And then I got back to Playground. And my friends, I'm like, Luke Skywalker. He's like, yeah, he's not in the first one. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just watched the first one. And then I had to learn, how it all works. Very weird. That's how it worked.
That's
That's
a
how
weird,
it works.
that's a weird path to Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember like seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters. I don't know what order I watched them in as a kid. I definitely watched the original trilogy first, but then I remember seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters, and there was like the part my babysitter. I vividly remember her covering my eyes when Anakin goes up to the kids like, "What are we going to do?" And just, I'm like, "What? What? It's a kids movie?
Oh,
Crazy."
I know he's
It's the
ironically
only one
being
that's
referred to.
PG-13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's referred to as Master Skywalker by a youngling, and that's the only time he's ever referred to as a Jedi Master.
Yeah, and he killed. So that's why he didn't deserve. I didn't even put that together. That's why he doesn't deserve it. As soon as he gets the rank of master, within seconds he murders children.
Well, kid was being a smartass. Had to put him in his place.
Dude,
Knew
he
he
was
wasn't
really
a master.
his
Nothing
appointment
teaches-
to
Master
his,
Skywalker. Just rewrite that line.
Stop acting like you don't understand what's happening, kid.
Well, nothing teaches a youngling like a poke in the tummy with a lightsaber. We get over this stuff now.
Now we know
because it's
that
pure
he had a
Just the flesh
whole
wound.
apprentice the entire time that called him master every day. So
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and
gotta
on
because
top
know
of
that.
Ahsoka exists.
he
you
didn't
know.
kill those younglings because, as we've learned from Disney Star Wars, lightsaber wounds aren't fatal. As long as he
True.
ran them
Right.
straight through with
True.
the sword that melts metal doors, huge metal doors, and causes them to burn and fall apart. That when it's shoved through your organs, it's fine.
I guess
Walk
you're
it off.
right. It would cauterize the wound, Aaron. I think you're explaining that to us.
Yeah, the temperature wouldn't keep burning. It wouldn't just completely catastrophically destroy your entire
There's
your
got to
entire
be
system
some.
there.
You know what,
There's
Aaron?
gotta
I
be some
think
dial
you're being-
on it.
This is toxic masculinity, Aaron.
Uh-huh.
Honestly.
You think
And
so?
you're
Oh, like
oppressing- you're
David
oppressing-
Bowie.
You're oppressing
David
women.
Bowie, yeah.
You're oppressing women by going against Rey, who is the greatest fictional character ever created.
Bestest ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, there should be some kind of. I bet you there's there originally some kind of dial on the lightsaber hilt because when Obi-Wan cut off Walrus Man's arm,
Yeah,
he's
he
in a pool of
bleeds.
blood,
But
and
then
that's the
after
first-
that, yeah. And the
Well, that's
prequels-
because the wounded arm fell to the ground, and when it hit, it broke back open, and that's why you see some blood.
But it's also set up to pay off because that's Act 1. By Act 3, Vader sweeps his lightsaber across Obi-Wan, and he's like poking at him, like, "Where's the body?"
Well, he
You know
finally
what I
used
mean?
the
Exactly,
rare
you know?
Jedi shrinking power. He had to step on the rope.
Or hear me out. They didn't think this through.
No,
No, I mean,
Wait.
Obi-Wan could have.
You might be onto something.
well, Obi-Wan disappeared
Obi-Wan
into the
could have
force.
wielded the lightsaber at such an incredibly fast speed that it didn't have time to. cauterize.
He finally used the Jedi super speed again. Obi-Wan's actually alive. He just booked it out of there and left his
Oh,
rope.
true.
Sure, he went
Unfortunately-
streaking.
Unfortunately, he left all his ropes.
He was going to streaking to the quad.
That's right. So
Speaking
there's
of-
a fully
of-
nude Alec Guinness running around the Death Star until it blew up.
Speaking of Alec Guinness, you have that came out this week of Ian McKellen randomly throwing dead Alec, throwing him under the bus, saying that Alec Guinness told me not to talk about how gay I am all the time. That randomly came out this week.
Yeah, and then
Why
I
is
saw-
he throwing him under the bus? He's dead. He's been dead for a while. What are we doing? That was.
I don't know. Have you ever had a buddy? You're like, listen, dude, I get that you're gay. We don't have to talk about it constantly. There's got to be something else in there that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what Alec Guinness told him. Was like, chill. You don't need to talk about it all the time. And Ian McKellen now, he's like, in the year of 2026, now I'll get him. No,
I don't know, I'm
everyone
kind of
know.
more into Alec Guinness now. Like, that's good advice. Nobody
don't
wants
talk
to
about
hear
any
about.
one thing all the time. Like, look, we're
Yeah.
talking about Star Wars too much. So
Well,
a
I
friend
agree,
should take
but-
us aside and be like, stop talking about Star Wars on the show. It's a dead meme.
Perch. They are
here.
supposedly going to release the original trilogy without the extra bonus scenes, the updated editions. Are you going to take the girls?
No, probably not. They don't have any interest.
What's wrong with you? It feels like you failed as a father.
No, they
don't have any
watched
interest
it.
in
They're like, yeah, okay. They've moved on. It's not for them.
That's not true. Kathleen Kennedy told me for years it's specifically for them now.
It's specifically not. They don't care. If I put it out there like, hey, we're gonna go see original stuff. And first of all, the whole idea of we're gonna go see original, unedited Star Wars without the bonus material, right there, they're like, what are you talking? Like, what does this even mean? And then if I put the choice of like, we're going to, you can sit at home and watch YouTube videos of cats, or go to Star Wars. The only thing that's going to tip in that movie's favor if there's a lot of popcorn or candy in the mix somehow while they're watching. That's the only thing that's going to tip it that direction.
It's weird that you bring that up. My kids have been making me watch cat and dog videos all week.
Yeah, those are the children we're raising right now.
I like the idea that Perch is like, we're gonna go see the original Star Wars without the bonus content, and his daughters just look at him and go, "Well, first of all, Father, George Lucas's intent with the original Star Wars was always to have dewbacks and things like that walking through the background, and to have a musical number.
That's
but
definitely how
unfortunately,
that
the technology at the time."
I like how they do this. Like, hey, now we're releasing it with half the bonus features of before, but not all. It's like just say you want more money. Just say you want those ticket prices one more time. That just say that.
Just say you can't sell the new
we
stuff.
are releasing the Star Wars films again, and we would like some money. And that's the whole advertising campaign. Just come. We're gonna have a little bucket out front. You can actually put more money in the bucket if you want, and then it will be longer before we do this again. So your call, fans.
So I've never seen the original Star Wars in the original format in theater. I've only seen the last two. So I would love to see it personally. But then again, I'm almost 50. I guess there's differences.
Yeah, there you go.
Or you could go see the Sheep Detectives, which is quite good.
Is it good? I need to go to the theaters. I'm gonna see. I was debating.
Go see Mortal Kombat. Man up.
See, I was because I hated the last one. It was a slap in the
That
face.
Mortal Kombat movie was fine.
It was fine if you don't like lore or don't care about Mortal Kombat.
The only thing about it that breaks the lore is that stupid new character.
Oh, no, I could give you 10 other things. First of all, I love when Mortal Kombat isn't in a Mortal Kombat movie, when they spend the entire movie building up to a tournament that doesn't happen. Great storytelling. I love killing off Kung Lao before the first Mortal Kombat happens. Kano not having an eye that is mechanical. You also had
Melina's in
He has
there.
that eye by the
Melina's-
end, doesn't he?
Yeah, by the end, but it's like a laser eye because they wanted to do like chi powers. I don't know what that was about.
Because of his arcana. Yeah.
What?
He grew the little ugly birthmark and now he can shoot lasers out
Goro
of his
being
eye.
killed by Cole Young, the Mortal Kombat champion, again doesn't take place in the Mortal Kombat tournament and instead is a dumb brute to slay instead of being, the 500-year reigning champion, because guy 4 arms, let's just make him have a fight in a shed. I hated that
It
movie.
was a barn.
Yeah, it was a barn. Why
Mortal
are
Kombat 2 has an actual tournament, and Cole gets his head stomped by Shao Kahn in his first fight. So
good?
there you go.
So that's good.
Oh, no, he
Liu
wasn't-
Kang?
He wasn't wearing his sweater?
He was wearing a sweater, but his head doesn't get covered by the sweater.
Well, that's
So the main problem Mortal Kombat 2 is Katana's actress is horrible, and she's the co-main character.
Yeah,
Like,
where
and
is
she's
Liu
like-
Kang not the main character in Mortal Kombat?
No, it's Johnny Cage and Katana are the main characters in this movie, and Katana's actress is terrible. Like, she is legitimately horrible, and that's the main problem. I had fun with it for like a schlocky sort of action 90s movie type deal with Mortal Kombat 2. Like, I enjoyed it, but if you're gonna go in taking it very seriously, probably not gonna enjoy it. Especially
Well, I mean, I don't
Katana's
think all
actress
of
is
them
terrible.
Good, but I mean, I can't help because I've in my head I've like got written how I would do them, and they're always better than what they do. So I kind of have to put that aside. But
you
like,
should watch Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. That's a fucking killer story right there. That one's really good.
I mean, I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was perfect.
Bloodiest cartoons I've ever seen in my life. It was fun.
Liu Kang being sidelined seems to be a consistent thing the past.
Yeah, he's the
decade.
worst character to play in the fucking game.
He's my main. I love Liu Kang.
I've already debunked this, by the way. I said the least popular.
He had the worst fucking fatality. He's the least interesting. He's got no.
His fatality is the bicycle kick. You guys remember?
No, it wasn't. It was the cartwheel uppercut, which he does have the worst fatality. I can agree with that.
Thank you,
but
I appreciate that.
It's not worse than Sonya's fatality.
Oh boy, that was the thigh crush.
No, hers was
that's
blowing you the kiss that goes. Woo,
You were watching something completely different, Sully. We're
I thought
talking
you
about the
did
game.
Sully, I don't think. Yeah, I think it was. Sully was watching it on a different website.
Sully's thinking of Cammy.
Okay.
You're right.
Sully's thinking about his dreams of Cammy.
I stopped playing Mortal Kombat.
As they both said.
I stopped playing Mortal Kombat after the second or third game, and I haven't played it since. Apparently, there is a bunch of lore now. I had no idea.
The last time I played this, it was on the Genesis.
Oh man,
True story.
I wasn't alive yet when that happened.
True story. I had to go to traffic school once, and it was right next to a 7-Eleven where we were allowed to go and take our lunch. And the guy that had been sitting next to me, I went over and I played a game of Mortal Kombat, and he came up next to me and he's like, I'm sorry, Street Fighter. Went up and played a game of Street Fighter, and he came up and he's watching me play, and he's like, "Oh, you're up against Cammy." I'm like, "Yep." And then he goes, "Yeah, she's hot. Wouldn't mind having her wrap those thighs around me." And I went,
well, I guess I'm not coming back.
And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to sit somewhere else when I get back."
But everybody knows Scorpion's the best character. It's not even debatable. He's number one.
False.
Yes. All right, let's hear for the Paples.
No, I do love Scorpion.
Adam Frey says, "Here's a donation to the Perch Arby's Lunch Fund."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Aww. Extra mayo.
$5 will get you half a Big Montana deal.
Little down payment for future diarrhea, Perch.
Why in the world? I got nothing. I'm out of Arby's jokes. It's defeated me.
Our Arby's is still great, especially with some seasoned curlies. Oh, gets no better.
Wes keeps talking about a sandwich that's dead. Big Montana. Oh, go get some Big Montana. Grab a McDLT while you're at it there.
Ooh, the hot side hot.
Jag Live. Hey, Mr. Perch. I watched one of your videos recently. You seemed in it kind of dismissive of continuity in comics. Do you think it doesn't matter?
No, I think continuity matters a lot. So I'm not sure which video if you want to.
I think
go into
continuity is paramount. Without continuity, there's no stakes or buy-in.
Well, you have to make a choice in the comic. You can go one route or another. And U.S. comics, superhero comics, require continuity because continuity is what keeps you coming back month after month. Otherwise, you have like Archie. I mean, Archie has limited continuity, although I'm sure people would argue about that. But if every issue can just stand alone and doesn't need to go anywhere, then yeah, you don't need continuity. If you're doing a webtoons kind of book where the premise of the story is who's going to hook up with who and date and eat lunch. Like continuity doesn't matter there. But for superhero comics, you do need continuity. Now, the problem is once you screw with that too much, it starts to kind of fold in on itself. If you completely blow up the continuity every which way, and like X-Men has done this plenty, then now you got a bigger problem on your hands. Like when you make the continuity fully a mess, you can just kind of back away slowly and get back on the right path again, which DC and Marvel have done at different times. But that's it. No, I like continuity a lot. It's just, it is a dumpster fire.
I think the way to make continuity a mess is to continuously go back and retcon it.
Yeah.
Add new relationships and stuff that happened when they were kids. And eventually it just doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, absolutely. I mean, look, that's why the whole the conversation earlier about Wade saying like it wasn't Vietnam, because that doesn't make any sense. It makes fine sense. Just stop. Just don't. That's not the stuff to worry about. Just keep moving. It's okay. When you start trying to adjust this stuff, that's where you blow up the continuity.
I agree, dude. There you go. Perch says continuity does matter.
It does matter, yes. Oh no.
And he says, if you pass through Austin off Route 35, check out French Quarter Grill.
I
Right
have eaten
across
there.
the opposite side of the highway from Arby's.
Yes, I'm familiar with that location. It was in my phone. I saw that question come through earlier. So absolutely, that is much better than Arby's.
So you went to this place and then ogled Arby's as you were having a lesser meal.
He gave
I
it the
went to that
steely-eyed
place.
stare.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I looked out across the street, contemplated how easy it'd be to drive a truck through it.
Perch looking at Arby's is like when Maggie sees the baby with one eyebrow. His eyes just narrow.
That's it.
Licking his lips, thinking about some seasoned curlies. I don't blame you, dude.
I hate when you say seasoned curlies. I don't know why. Really
Well,
bothers me.
because it sounds like views. That's why.
I hear Jack Black from Tenacious D, like seasoned curlies. Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't like seasoned curly fries?
I love them.
So you have to add fries. You add fries. It's not
Yes,
weird.
thank you,
Fries,
God.
That's all it is. It's just that one word. It changes the whole
Requires
complexity.
that modifier. Yes.
It's kind of like saying, do you want to go to Arby's for a big, juicy meat? And if you leave off the sandwich, changes the complexion of the statement.
No, but you don't need the fries. Everyone knows you say seasoned curlies, you're talking about curly fries. The season.
I don't think everyone knows that.
Oh. Well, fuck me. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah, you get some seasoned curlies, go out to the parking lot, give your buddy a 5-knuckle shuffle, right, Wes?
I'm saying you come to the US, come back to Dallas, you go to conference, you're like, hey guys, who's in for some curlies right now? Half that group's gonna, well, I don't know, you get some takers.
Yeah, if you use the season part, like that's
season. That's exotic.
Season just that's not going to help.
Oh, I think it helps quite a bit, to be honest. And then nerd, hey, Wes, you said you respond to my DM tomorrow. Tomorrow's now a week later. I'm gonna have to super chat harder for you to notice me. I have noticed you. I am so sorry I haven't got back to you. We are currently working on a Doc is Right t-shirt design. Nerd is helping me out with that. It's going to be badass. And yeah, we're going to make something really, really cool.
YouTube flagged seasoned curlies, by the way. Someone commented it and I had to approve it. So YouTube thinks it's something nefarious.
No
one's more oversensitive than YouTube.
Dude, I got it.
Well.
All right, nerd. We're making a seasoned curlies comic themed fucking shirt, dude.
Oh.
This is going to happen. You're fucking with me, Dylan.
When's the
No,
5-knuckle shuffle
I'm not
shirt
kidding.
coming out?
Someone said I've never heard someone say seasoned curlies and it got flagged by YouTube.
Not only have they never heard it, but they never want to hear it again.
All right. Maybe you guys have a point.
Could be.
Callum says, how many of you think Christopher Nolan was drunk, has drunk the feminist Kool-Aid, or is this Lucas prequel trilogy syndrome? And Ellen Page, come for the F on.
I think he needs to be held for war crimes in Greece with some of these.
Well, the Ellen Page rumor, they're saying it's not true. They're saying Ellen Page is not playing Achilles, which I think even when you and I talked about it, Wes, I was like, can I imagine a world where this is the casting? Yes. Do I think this is the casting? No. And it's much ado about nothing. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm more concerned by some of the other changes that, it's like, oh, no orchestra because there were no orchestras back then. It's like, yeah, well, there was no Travis Scott doing raps either. So I don't know what we're doing here, but yeah, it's getting people to talk about it. Whether or not that's good or bad, we'll find out.
I mean, can we fairly compare it to something else, like something like Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet with Leo DiCaprio? Remember that was an interesting adaptation of it, and it was far from traditional.
It was clearly not trying to be authentic.
And
in fact,
it's also
they tell you that the entire fucking movie, tongue in cheek, that this is not an authentic take on Romeo and Juliet. Grab me my longsword, and it's a fucking
gun. I love
Desert
that.
Eagle.
I love that design. I loved all the characters. That was one of John Leguizamo's big hit as a good actor, I think.
Oh, it was John
Yeah.
Leguizamo fucking
Great.
made that thing and put it over the
The
top.
guy who
John
played Michael
Leguizamo
Lost.
he's never peaked above Super Mario Brothers.
Mhm.
I have to see the original. I haven't seen it yet. The original
I
Super Mario Brothers.
I will say this much: I
don't say
love
that. That's
I love
terrible.
reading the Iliad. I love reading the Odyssey. These are two of my favorite books. I've read a couple of different translations. I think the Fitzgerald translation is the best if you need a suggestion, but the
Okay.
Lattimore has the better introduction. With that said, when Odysseus meets Achilles in Book 11 of the Odyssey, he's meeting a specter, a shadow. He's gone down to the underworld, and he sees so. Achilles has been stripped of his humanity, of his masculinity, of his vitality. He's a shade. He's like a burnt matchstick. You know what I mean? He looks nothing like Brad Pitt anymore. So I could see like maybe
It says that right in the
could work.
text, in the original text. It
He
says
looks nothing like Brad Pitt anymore. Homer was really ahead of his time.
I translated that from the Greek myself with my decoder ring.
People read
Bradis
it
Pittis.
for
Anger be now
for
your
years
song
and years and years, going like, what is this Brad Pitt thing in here? That must be a translation.
Doom, ruinous, the Achaeans loss upon loss.
See, it's like a Scott Snyder story. Homer wrote it, but really he was writing about, the cosmos years and years and years before Homer's birth had already decreed that Brad Pitt would one day rise to be Achilles.
That's nuts.
Troy is a perfectly average sword and sandal movie.
Yeah. And that took liberties too. Menelaus never got killed, in the Iliad. He survives. And
Well, they essentially removed the Trojan War from all the mythology and the gods and everything, essentially. Try to make it a straight war movie. That's why it probably doesn't work.
right. They removed like the gods except for Thetis, Achilles' mom. She's got one, that one scene by the beach. And that's it for the gods in Troy.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Dylan? Did Christopher Nolan get drunk on feminist Kool-Aid?
I don't think so. He's been criticized for years for the fact that all of his stories revolve around guys, and he doesn't know how to write female characters and doesn't use them enough in his movies. Like, people are constantly getting mad at him about that. I don't think he drank some of his Kool-Aid. No, I think this is just Nolan doing his Nolan thing, and this is how he wanted to do it. And also, partially could be some of it could be producers and things being like, maybe throw this person in there. And he likes, Ellen Page. You worked with her on Inception, and he always brings back actors that he worked with before. So,
yeah, he's got his crew. It is weird that people with Page, he's worked with her a lot, and so I don't know. This doesn't seem unique at all to me.
I will say I watched Project Greenlight, where Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are like producers or whatever. What?
You're always talking about Project Greenlight.
I've talked about it 3 times in my life,
Yeah,
all with
love
you.
that. No.
But I was watching it, and there's like this lady. She was a producer, like casting agent, and she was literally telling Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, like, no, you can't do that. You will not cast this film that way. You will have this many of this and all that kind of stuff, and was like vetoing all their decisions and shit like that. So.
yeah.
I don't think anybody's doing that to Nolan, though. I think he's powerful enough to cast his own movies.
Well, it sure felt like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon at the height of their powers were probably way more powerful than this lady, but they weren't saying no. They're like, okay.
I'm calling it, this is the Glee theater kids version of the Odyssey. So it's like, sure, we can punch down them all we want, but you're just going to end up with blood and tears of Glee theater kids on your hands. Seriously.
I mean, here's the neat thing is like, you don't have to be upset about it. You can just not go see it if you don't like it. It's like, it's kind of the opinion that I take of everything now is it's like, not even like, does anything get me mad? No, because I don't care enough to be angry.
I'm at that point where like if I go in low expectations, I tend to be okay.
You tend to come out right where you thought you would. You're like, if I go in with low expectations, just
which
the
is
lowest
kind of
bar.
sad that I have nothing but low expectations now. It is sad because I'm like, it's like, don't give me hope. It's generally how I am every time I see something I like. Ironically, the movie the adaptation, I don't know. This is such a strange time to be alive, man. The one adaptation I have the most hope for is like Sonic 4. How did we get here?
That's a fucking
Perch.
weird take.
I have a question for Perch, just based off
Oh,
what
no.
Vaughn said. Perch, do you think anyone in the history of the world has ever said these are fairly normal times we're living in?
No, I mean, they're getting weirder because everything moves faster. But I don't know. That's one of the challenges I think we have right now is that a lot of the people want to have something unique that happens to them, and the problem is so much has happened that there's very little of that. But you've seen horrible adaptations. I like David Lynch, but let me tell you that the Dune adaptation back in the day was not received well. And if there had been an internet, there would be a lot of videos with sandworms with tears. But it is what it is.
Nerd talking about our premises for comic books that we were messing around with says they all sound like they belong to Booster Gold: catfishing, toilets, and ruined timelines.
Booster Gold would be a good book if they could get that. If they could get that out and in a consistent way, that could be a hilarious book.
It really could. I love Booster.
Yeah. I like that.
Really,
Jeff John
I don't like him even if Dan Jurgens doesn't. I'm like, he's a fucking idiot.
Booster's fun.
Well, you don't like James Bond, as we established this week.
That is true. I don't.
So,
like
I don't
James Bond.
know.
You don't like James
I'm
Bond?
More of a triple X guy.
Oh,
What?
Dominic Toretto
Or a
version.
Diesel guy?
See, Perch had the correct response. Just
First thinking the 5 Dr. Shuffle Triple X. But where,
wait a second.
talking about Vin
Jurassic Park's
Diesel.
too loud for me, and
I
you don't
wish I
like
could.
James Bond?
I wish I was
really
thinking
like
the
James
actual
Bond.
Triple X. Yeah,
No, I was thinking the Vin Diesel.
no, I
movie.
figured. Yeah, because you're not thinking of
Pretty
Billy Reed. Yeah,
Perch, he likes to throw on some Triple X, go get some seasoned curlies. You know what he's talking about.
yeah. You're painting quite a picture here.
Tommy reviews. Good morning, aficionados. HasLab Lyokaiser has started shipping. I'm excited to get mine for comics. I saw Arya is getting an omnibus. Is it good since it's the Darkness co-creator? Also, Transformers 32 was May. I think Transformers 32 was worse than May, but you're being very nice there. Did you get the HasLab toy there, Aaron?
The Lyokaiser? No, I did not. That one I did not order. Actually, they haven't put up a. What's the last HasLab they did? It's been a little while.
Man,
I think the last one they did was the G.I. Joe Snowcat, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, Aaron, you like Dune, right?
Yeah, I'm
Dune
not
your
the
mom.
big. What?
Does it doing your mom? Doing your mom.
Well, I mean, honestly, who hasn't?
Your mom's like a doorknob. Everyone gets a turn.
Pretty much.
Jesus, man. What do you think, Perch? Is the Arya omnibus worth it, dude?
I didn't like that series really. So for me, no. But I mean, I guess you know what? I don't think it should have an omnibus. Why does it have an omnibus? That's a weird thing.
I think it's a Kickstarter.
What? Oh, the
Okay.
Darkness or Arya?
No, Arya.
Okay, because Saw the Darkness is on. I've never heard of Arya.
No, I've never personally read that. You know what I started this week, Perch?
Yeah.
Cobra: The Last Laugh.
Okay.
Finally. And that first issue and the Zero issue were fucking scorching hot good. I don't really like Chuckles. I don't understand how he's a G.I. Joe, but I'm starting to get it now.
Been telling you for years. This is what made him my second favorite Joe. Was this book purely off this like Chuckles rules?
Chuckles, he's just kind of a weird character, but it's so fucking good.
It's incredible, dude. Wait till you get even further into it. Shit starts going down.
Let's hope that doesn't happen because I went and looked at the hardcovers again, and they're still $300.
Worth it.
Oh, time to nut up.
$300 for no. I mean, maybe if I was Perch, I'd be like, "Yeah, here's $300 for a book." I was like, "That's dinner for 2 weeks here for the kids." You know what I mean? They got to eat.
It's a lot of Arby's.
There's no Arby's here.
That's a lot of seasoned curlies.
You can buy a lot of early action, $300.
Supersized.
I love that he's like, you're like, yeah, it's just like Perch going to the Met Gala and everything. It's like Perch is like,
Let me turn that right around on you. No. No. What do I look like? A guy who goes to a museum? Come on.
Yeah.
Caleb says Sonya Blade was awesome in Scorpion's Revenge. Yeah, she's pretty cool. But always overshadowed by the dude with metal arms that's her partner.
Jax.
Mm-hmm. He's
No,
pretty cool.
I think Sonya's better than Jax.
I like them both.
Jax
I
is great
remember-
because he can rip your arms off.
I remember being kind of annoyed with Sonya in that movie, but it was still good enough. Like, so
In the original Mortal Kombat movie, she's not a very good character, but the lady that plays her was so smoking hot it didn't matter.
yeah. Oh, dude, that was
Brigitte
that
Wilson?
was
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think, Perch?
That
What do you
was-
give Bridget Wilson at the time of Mortal Kombat out of 10? You giving her like an 8 or a 9?
This is not a question I've had before. Sure, 8.
I would like to hear you objectify somebody. It'd be great.
Listen, Perch, I've seen you do a video on butts in comics. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I do that all the time. Yeah, I mean, just Bridget Wilson isn't where I want us to land that poll.
You'd rather
Crazy.
land it on Dick Grayson?
At least I got a chuckle out of Aaron, really. That was all I was going with that comment.
Jack Live. So I feel DC needs to do an Absolute Forever Evil edition. I think it was the last great DC event series. Do any of you agree?
Oh, an absolute format with that David Finch art.
Mhm.
That'd be nice. I'd be down for that.
When I hear Absolute Forever Evil, I'm thinking of that one shot from fucking Al Ewing.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
Oliver Queen died. He's talking about the Jeff
Right?
Johns, David Finch book. Yeah, I'd be
My
down
head
for an
was in
absolute
the
edition of
wrong
that.
place.
The only thing wrong with Forever Evil is the ending because it's just all cliffhanger for the next event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It was an okay story. I mean, this whole thing to save Dick Grayson, who got us outed, and he had to die in order to defuse the bomb. And then Earth 3, Lex Luthor having the reverse Shazam thing. It got a little bit convoluted, but the art was amazing. And it was a pretty good. I love Earth 3 characters. So it really, that's where it had me.
I didn't read that event, but I know people really liked it.
I think the last great DC event was
Doomsday Clock.
I think it is event series. I go with Blackest Night.
You just say I think of it as an event series. Yeah, that's an event.
There's no tie-ins. It's not a real event. There's no
It's-
fallout into the main universe.
Oh my goodness.
That's
You're,
true.
you're,
No,
the,
that is
you're
true.
the you're the problem. That you're the reason why we have 800 tie-ins every event because people like you.
Oh my
You're like,
goodness.
oh, this doesn't count as an event because there's not 80 tie-ins. And we just got Doomsday Clock referenced in DCKO, so it mattered.
7 years
it still
after the fact.
matters. Doomsday Clock was the last good event.
And Jeff Johns called the DC Marvel crossover in Doomsday Clock. Just like, yeah, totally.
That's true.
I loved it.
Kurtz, what's the last great event, dude?
For DC,
Yeah.
probably,
Dark Knight
probably
Steppenwolf?
Doomsday Clock. I'm with Dylan there. I think Doomsday Clock was good. Blackest Night was good. I agree, but it's been a while. Like I appreciate that we go that far back, but really, a lot of time has passed since then.
Yeah, but it says great. And, I think
Yeah.
Dark Knight's Metal is actually kind of fun, especially the tie-ins. I even think DCKO up until the end was kind of decent. There was a couple of standout issues.
The first
It's
metal was
always
all right. It's just with the second metal, it made me hate the
kinda
first
ruins
one because the second one's so bad.
Like a Last Jedi effect on The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Well, no, because I hated the Force Awakens when it came out.
But didn't you hate it just a little more? After
No,
that
because I
movie?
still think the Force Awakens is worse than the Last Jedi. I think
Whoa.
both are terrible, but I still think the Force Awakens is even worse.
Yeah. Caleb says, I hated that Romeo and Juliet movie with contempt. I'm still traumatized by Harold Perrineau in drag watching it in school.
Harold Perrineau, yes. And he was on Lost. Remember, he was always wandering around the jungle going, Walt! Looking for his son. Man.
But I'm with Cal. I wasn't traumatized by that Romeo and Juliet, but it was pretentious as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the way that I watched it.
I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Good soundtrack.
Plus, anybody fighting over Claire Danes just takes me right out of the movie. It's like, this is unbelievable.
I didn't like it. It was too loud, I thought.
It was
too
very
loud.
loud. It was
Yeah.
assault on the senses.
No, but see, you're wrong about
Wow.
Harold Perrineau in Lost. He wasn't walking. The thing that he said the most on that show was, "You got a son, Jack?" He was always like throwing his son in people's faces, and everybody was like, "Hey, maybe we should do this thing," and he was always just being super obstinate, like, "No, I got a son," and you're like, "Shut up about your stupid son."
Walt?
Yes.
Walt. Yeah. He was supposed to be the focus of the show, and then with the writer's strike, when they came back, he was too old. He had hit puberty, and he was like literally 6 feet tall now. They were like, "Oh shit, we have to." So that's why it went sideways with this.
Take him right off the island.
Yeah,
Made it a better show for a little bit. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that Romeo and Juliet film.
I watched that when I was in school, and I think it was refreshing to watch it. Like I liked it when I saw it because I was so sick of. I was in my high school, like, Shakespeare. Sick of reading this guy. And so I was like, oh, this is like refreshing and different. But like, do I think it's a great adaptation? Probably not.
Man, you had a very sassy opinion of Shakespeare in high school.
No, I was. It wasn't that. It wasn't. I didn't have. Well, yeah, I was in high school.
Ugh.
Well, because it was like that. It was like the every year. It was like through middle school we'd read Shakespeare, high school we'd read Shakespeare. It was like there are other writers. It was like
no, I was just talking about the way you said it like a Valley girl. It was a very sassy way of saying it. Less about the Shakespeare stuff.
go with that eyeliner. Yeah, no.
Oh man, I'm not beating the allegations, am I?
And then Calvin Snow, does Ellen Page still have it in for Chris Pratt? Maybe I didn't know about that.
I don't think it's
I didn't know about.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
a big
no.
beef.
She's been trying to cancel Chris Pratt for being a Christian for a while. She like hates Christianity.
A lot of people do.
But it's not it's not an aggressive effort. It's just she shit talks him regularly and kind of that kind of stuff. But I don't. I mean, who's listening to Ellen Page?
I don't know. Hopefully nobody, because Chris Pratt is goated.
Nerd says, isn't Ellen a dude now? Or ruined Ellen Umbrella Academy? Yes, I believe there's been a transition.
Yeah, Elliot now.
Elliot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I did not watch Umbrella Academy.
Me either.
They should
It
just
did.
not
I
like
mean,
that.
Umbrella
So-
Academy was
I think-
season 1 was decent. The comic is good, but that became the dominant plot for at least a season, and I think 2 was the Ellen Elliot Page story. Like that was not why so much time spent on that shit.
They should have just addressed it like the future episode of Family Guy, where Meg walks in, and is like, "I'm Ron now," and like after about the third time that Meg mentions that she's Ron, Peter just goes, "We get it, Meg. You're a dude now." That should have been it.
Yeah, would they do a Kenny Pride if they bring her back?
I don't know what that means.
Because she was Kitty Pride. In
Oh,
X-Men.
Kitty. I thought you said Kenny, and I was like,
That's what I'm
not
saying.
gonna-
I'm saying it would be Kenny now.
That's
I
the
was
joke.
going
Oh,
more to
that was
the
South
joke.
Park.
I
than
see. I see what
X-Men
you're doing.
Beyond.
Come on, Aaron.
I gotta get up too early for this show, man. I'm not 100%.
Scaretone says, it was nice meeting you at Frankenson's, Aaron. By the way, I'm the guy with the blue hat.
Yes. I'm sorry, your name escapes me. It was super nice meeting you. I was coming out of Frankenson's with a giant bag full of toys. You know, I'd gone and I'd picked up a bunch of stuff, and I'm walking across the one of the lanes, and I hear somebody say, "Hey, are you on YouTube?" And I was like, I'm on Thinking Critical every week, and I'm on World Class Bullshitters. He's like, "Oh yeah, I watch Thinking Critical. You know, you're Aaron Sparrow." It was like, now normally when someone says, "Are you on YouTube?" I'm expecting the window to come down and then just 2 shots to ring out in the night, and then finally I'll be like, "Oh, at last, I can leave this mortal coil." But no, it was very nice, very nice young man. You know, he parked and we got a picture together, talked a little bit. It was fun.
Aaron Sparrow?
Very nice.
Aaron Sparrow? I read your books.
Aaron,
Sparrow
did
was
any
good.
of your toys have little brushes so you could comb their hair and stuff?
No, those are dolls, Wes.
Mm,
I collect action figures.
man, you are famous. Well, very good. Rate
Well,
that
Thinking
7.
Critical is famous. I'm just one of the players.
Rate that 7. Maybe Nolan should have made the Odyssey film like the awesome Ulysses 31 animated series and made it a futuristic sci-fi retelling of the story.
You know, Wraith, there is one, and it's called Ad Astra. It came out in 2019, starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Liv Tyler. It is the Odyssey adapted into like NASA space. You know, in
Do you prefer
Near
Ad
future.
Astra or Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I
As your
prefer Ad Astra, to
Odyssey?
be honest, because it's closer to all the story beats of the Odyssey. It's remarkable. It's everything is there. All the characters are there. I mean, so Brad Pitt is Telemachus, the son of Achilles. I mean, the son of Odysseus, looking for his father. who's out by the planet Neptune. And who is Neptune? That's Poseidon. That's Roman Poseidon. And so everything is there. All, the Scylla and Charybdis, there's killer space monkeys. It works. It's a good movie. Ad Astra. Check it out.
I like Ad Astra. It's basically Apocalypse Now in space. Is how I viewed it. It felt very much similar to Apocalypse Now.
Man, so are we saying Apocalypse Now is actually just the Odyssey, but in Vietnam?
Ad Astra, like Apocalypse Now. I've never. No.
The dude's going insane, trying to
going
go
up
and
the river.
find his father, who's trying to destroy the world. Yeah.
See, now I could watch a whole show where Dylan breaks down all the ways that it's like Apocalypse Now, like, and just gives his thesis. I would be in for that. That's a sort of like weird academic exercise I would enjoy.
You know what's funny, Aaron? I keep seeing your comments, and it reminds me of a conversation at MegaCon where you're like, "I'm gonna stop being a jerk now." That didn't last long.
No, I did. You've seen my Twitter. It says that it doesn't say I'm a jerk anymore.
Oh, so that
I stopped being a jerk.
Right?
Yeah,
That's all you need to do.
Aaron and I were talking on Sunday. He goes, I've come to an epiphany. He's like, I need to stop being a jerk.
I have come to that epiphany, but it's a process. It takes some time. I can't go cold turkey.
Right. You got to every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I mean, I didn't say I'm going to stop being snarky.
No. Of course. We need you to be like the right level of snark. Jerk,
HH the fam over at Sigma Comics are headed to enjoy Gotham's first warm day of the spring with a friend, but want to remind you all to support the channel. One of the few great things we still have in comics. Also, Unwanted Men on Kickstarter. Absolutely. Well, enjoy your wonderful Saturday. Hopefully it's a beautiful weather up there in New York.
Good man.
It is a nice and balmy 95 degrees here in the Philippines. It has been very, very warm. So how's Boston treating you, Sully? Is it also nice weather there?
The weather here is wicked pisser. I'm going out today. It's currently 75 degrees out there. It's sunny with a chance of rain, and I'm gonna go out and hopefully walk down the beach with my girlfriend. We live on the coast. I mean, like right there, like Boston Harbor is right over there. I'm pointing to Boston Harbor.
Sounds like it's good weather everywhere. So enjoy the weekend, and thank you for your support, brother. We appreciate that, and congratulations on the success of Calico Unwanted Men on Kickstarter. Very nice. So we do have some cool stuff to talk about this week. We had Marvel's apparent answer to the Absolute Universe, which has been hot as can be. It's going to be the Midnight Universe, which kind of implies Midnight Suns, but it's going to be X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, at least to begin with. So you are probably the target audience here, Dylan. You're a younger man. You're enjoying Absolute Batman. You're enjoying Absolute Superman. What do you think about Absolute or Marvel Midnight Universe? They have some really good creators over here.
Yeah, they have some good creators. Phillip Kennedy Johnson is I think the best right now, so I'm happy they got him. With Hickman and Percy, I think they're both pretty good at the start. My problem with both of them is they both have the same issue where they come out the gate swinging really hard, and then it seems they lose steam very fast whenever they start a new series, where it's really good, and then partway through they lose me almost every time. But I think a big problem with this new universe that they're doing is, well, aside from the fact that it's a horror universe, they're not using horror characters, they're just using their most popular characters, is when DC did the Absolute Universe, and currently what they have right now is the mainline universe is in a good spot. Like, we have a lot of good mainline books. It's not like it's on fire and we're jumping ship to the little dinghy to try to make it to safety. Where with Marvel, the mainline universe is awful. It's like, well, instead of fixing anything with that, we're going to do our own Absolute Universe now. Don't even acknowledge the fact that we had our own Absolute Universe with the Ultimate Universe. We just had no planning, and we hired the guy that quits on everything. But now we kind of want a do-over because we didn't realize that the Absolute Universe was actually going to be successful and you could make this thing work. Because Marvel, it seems, with their Ultimate Universe, had no planning, just thought, with everything else, they're like, we'll get some sick new number ones with this, it'll sell well, and then it's going to crash and burn and we'll cancel it. And then DC had Snyder come in and actually had planned out the Absolute Universe a little bit and actually had it succeed. And Marvel's like, wait, that's not fair. We didn't realize you could do that. So now we're the do-over. We're doing Midnight now. and it's our absolute universe. So now we realize you can actually have some success, and this will totally go back to past 10 issues. We'll totally actually plan this time. And people that are reading Absolute, come read Midnight. It seems like that's their plan here. I like the creative teams. It's probably the best writers that Marvel has. The artists seem interesting. I was so hoping Patrick Gleason would have been on one of these books, because they've put him in cover hell. All he does is covers. That's basically all he's done since they signed him to an exclusive contract, which makes me very sad. But yeah, the creative teams are pretty good. Hopefully it's good. I do think having a monstrous Spider-Man was a mistake. I'm super excited for it because it's Phillip Kennedy Johnson. But I think you have a lot of Spider-Man fans that are homeless right now, because Ultimate Spider-Man got canceled. Amazing Spider-Man's in the garbage, and it's like they're looking for a place to go. And I was just thinking, because Superman's my favorite, I was like, if all the Superman books sucked, they're like, here's a new Superman book with a good creative team that looks interesting. They're like, but also he's a monster. I'd be like, that's not exactly where I want to go, you know? So I feel
you nailed it though, man. We feel homeless. I mean, that's so very eloquent, Dylan. I mean, that you nailed it. That's how I feel as a Spider-Man fan. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot, even though I think this is going to be good. I think the Spider-Man book's going to be the best. It's just like, I don't think that's the character to do that with when you don't. This is the book that you do when you have another good Spider-Man book going on. So like, here's an alternative, you know, it's different than like, oh, Batman's 6'9" now, you know, that's not as big as like a deal as like, oh, Spider-Man's now a monster. And I feel like that could throw some people off, but I think it'll be good. And I'm interested in it. I think Phillip Kennedy Johnson will do a good job. He always does good with everything, especially horror. So I'm excited for that book. The other two, not sure. We've seen how Hickman does with X-Men.
Right.
Yeah, which I was not a fan of.
Yeah, again, it started out strong with Hawks and Pox, like it was pretty good, and then as soon as the actual run started, it burned to the ground instantly.
Well, because to me,
like issue 2, where you had the old ladies showing up, it was like, what is
beating
this?
up everyone, like that was.
Well, to me, it was because I was reading Claremont stuff for the first time around in college. I by the way, side note, I love when people tell me it's just nostalgia. The old stuff isn't that good. The new stuff's better. No, I was reading Giant Size and Claremont Stone for the first time, the same time that stuff was coming out. It's better. It is. Right?
Is there anyone that's a fan of the modern X-Men books?
Yeah, well, clearly, because people keep buying them.
I know some people like. I know people like the Hickman stuff because Hickman has his dick writers. But outside of that, I don't know if I see anyone praising these.
I've met people that say I'm an X-Men fan, but I'm not a fan of the Claremont stuff. I'm like, so you're not an X-Men fan.
That's insane.
What?
I mean, I hear Packendell's doing a good job on the Cyclops mini. Like, anyone reading that? I'm not.
No, it's fine.
Should I?
I heard someone was telling me that they hated it, but I don't know.
Is Psylocke still good? Because I know that you liked it at one point.
Psylocke's okay, and it's
Psylocke Ninja is awesome.
The Cyclops book is good. It's a small story. The problem is, and this is the problem also, I think, for the Midnight Universe, is how, and somebody asked in the chat, how many issues this is going to go, and Marvel will not commit to a long running thing. So you take these. So yeah, I think Hickman bails on things, but also Marvel bails on their own things. So if you're Hickman and you're here to just launch a premise and be out, if that comic's going 5 issues, like what are you doing? You're launching a Elseworlds miniseries. You're not launching a new universe to compete with Absolute or whatever it is. And I think Dylan, you also touched on, it's not about Batman is huge now, because that wasn't the core part of the pitch. You know, Snyder's pitch was, what if Batman didn't have all the wealth and he's more of a bruiser type character as opposed to a refined superhero? And, you know, he's there with Dragotta, who draws like crazy exaggerated characters. So at no point was the original Absolute pitch like, let's have Batman, but he's going to be 50 feet tall and just blowing shit up. It was, you know, it was a combination of those two things. So Marvel's like, well, let's have everybody do some body horror and everything else. I mean, if Marvel came out and they said, we're going to do this Midnight Universe, it's going to be a minimum of 5 years, we're really going to build out a story, you'd see a lot of people take interest, because at least they know that Marvel's not going to bail on things. But you know, how long is this really realistically going to go? I think it'll go more than 5 issues. It's not going to go more than 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that would suck.
Yeah,
that's Marvel. And here's the problem: even if you announce this, and this is something that, like, when you told me about it, Wes, you said, "Oh, have you seen anything for Midnight?" And I said, "I saw the logo." And then you were explaining to me what it was. And what was the first thing I said? I said, "Can Nightcrawler be like a Catholic priest that's like killing vampires and storms the vampire?" And then we were looking at the cover and we were like, it kind of looks like that. So like this there's a little bit more interest. I'm more interested to check this out than I am most things. But I also feel that trepidation of I know it's not going to last because Marvel doesn't commit to anything. And they've burned me so many times and so many events and so many series and things like that. And just the sheer incompetence of like going like, hey, look, Weapon X-Men, but it's only 5 issues because our editor put it in wrong, you know, and said it was a 5-issue series instead of saying it was an ongoing. And so now it is a 5-issue series because the retailers are going to order accordingly. You know, I know that they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. So am I really going to check it out? I don't know.
Yeah. I do think that's one of the things that the Absolute Universe especially had going for it, Perch, because, you know, Scott Snyder's got that Undiscovered Country or whatever that book is.
Sure.
Been going on for 5 years. You know, he did his Batman run for several years. He did a 3-year run on, you know, the Justice League, and he said he was on, you know, outlining issue 37 when he was on issue 9 or whatever. You're like, okay, this thing's going to go on for a while, and you could kind of trust that he was going to be there for the long haul, but it's kind of hard to feel that way about Marvel, no doubt.
Yeah, you just gotta provide some longevity to it. And by the way, you know, I have obviously X-Men's my favorite series. I've lived through all the Claremont issue era. Version 1 was better than version 2 for sure. But Claremont, one of the biggest reasons it worked, beyond the fact he had a good writer and some awesome artists during that time, is he had time. If you take Claremont and you say, you know, oh, it's going to be a 12-month run, yeah, that's going to suck. It doesn't matter if it's Claremont or not. It's just not going to be great. So give it time.
Especially with some of the writers, you know, Hickman, you know, when he commits to something, he likes to tell things long form. He likes to do a lot of world building. Phillip Kennedy Johnson's best stuff is when he gets 2 or 3 years to kind of cook and really flesh out a really big story. And you just don't know if they're actually going to get the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, again, you take, there were certain areas like the Siege Perilous comes to mind where the X-Men were all over the world. You needed time for that. If they were like, if that was just that, you're like, all right, you have a couple issues, that wouldn't have worked. But it works because he knew, I think he started getting more experimental towards the end of his run because he was able to do new things. And I think people are always like so ADHD now, that no one really wants to commit to something like that. And I think that's a big problem. I think there's a lot. The industry is obviously in a weird spot. It has been for a while. I don't think with Hickman, I think Hickman I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of his ideas were inherently bad ideas for X-Men. Like personally, I don't think it was just the commitment thing. But generally, people should have more time to grow their stuff, I think, is a big part of it.
I mean, Hickman, it's tough to think about that era because it you know, X-Men fans have been suffering for a bit of time. It had kind of lost its way. You had these other kind of backdrops of Marvel deprioritizing X-Men to focus on the Avengers and other things. And so it's kind of just hanging out there. No creator really stayed on for a really good time. And he had really weird runs. You had like Matt Fraction, who had a certain style. And then, you know, that jumps into a Kieran Gillen, who's had a completely take that's introduced the wacky Sinister. And so they were, and then Wolverine's running a school, and then, you know, Cyclops kills Xavier. I mean, just that time was all over the map. So Hickman comes in, he's like, nope, we're going to establish a new status quo. We're planting a flag in the ground. Here's what it is. A lot of like crazy ideas. There's no death now. They're all living on an orgy island, etc. And fans are like, well, okay, it seems like they're committing to something, and there's a purpose here again, and feels like they're setting up something for long haul. So yeah, you know, we'll jump on board. And you saw those sales. Hoxpox did really well. It's like, oh, there's a big techno threat in the future that makes sense to us as a longtime X-Men fan. We've seen this before, so. But then you get into the problem Marvel falls into of like, oh my God, we're making money, quick, launch 12 more books, and hey, you know, let's get some other writers in here, and hey, let's do this event series that was a bunch of games that didn't make any sense, and let's do the Hellfire Gala, and they're on Mars now, and it's like you had Hickman come in and kind of consolidate and solve things, and I agree with you. Some of those ideas were good, some were very bad, but whatever. He's kind of trying to shape it, and then they just blew it all up again with lots of writers going in every direction. Al Ewing doing his thing, and Ben Percy doing his thing, and you know, and Vita and Teeny, and all that goes. And so then here you are, and now we're kind of like we're back in the same mess. But look at this current era, and I think it really translates to the Midnight Universe. You've got the premise was the X-Men are more feared and hated than ever before. Except Gail Simone didn't apparently get that memo because the mayor of New Orleans is putting statues of them and none of this feels like the actual premise that they've said it is. And so with Midnight Universe, okay, the premise is it's the heroes, but they're monsters here, and so it's a dark and terrible thing. But that problem is those sound like one-shot ideas. They don't sound like a series.
What if ideas? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how far do you go with this stuff? Can you see it going 5 years? If you can't, it's just, again, it's a what if issue. So just do it time. Yeah. Put out the what if issue. We'll probably love it. It'll be better than some of the other shit they're doing with what if right now. So just do that.
I'm kind of with you there, Perch, where it feels a little half baked, where the Fantastic Four are basically just going to be the four from Planetary, which they have to be defeated because Reed Richards is trying to destroy the world. Spider-Man seems like just a deformed version of Spider-Man where he's fighting, the man or whatever. That one actually feels kind of heroic. And then the X-Men book is X-Men as monsters fighting vampires in a turf war in New York City.
Yeah.
So it feels a little all over the place.
I feel like I just saw an evil Fantastic Four in the red band Marvel Zombies. And, just it kind of like, okay.
Good thing nobody read that
again. Yeah.
guys, what if we had Wolverine break his claws? That'd be different, right?
Ooh,
yeah. By the way, and I mean, this is the person asked me a continuity over here. Like, doesn't it annoy everybody that Wolverine has broken claws before? Like, so in Marvel's like, you've never seen this before, bitch. We have, we absolutely have. Like, what? Like, I don't mind. You want to go back and do the same things again, fine, but don't gaslight me into thinking this is brand new. You've done it before.
First, what if his claws were hot?
Yeah.
I have an idea. All right, Superman, but he's evil. No one's ever done this before.
It just drives me nuts. I mean, because on one hand, your entire customer base depends on people coming back month after month, and you want them remembering stuff, and you're selling omnibuses, and you want them in the history, and you want them subscribing to your digital platform, so they have the back issue catalog, and then you're telling them like, hey, here's something you've never seen before. And you're like, fucker, we've seen it before. Like, you can't.
Well, we've certainly seen body horror Spider-Man before.
Sure.
He was Man Spider, right? Seen him with the 8 arms and all, or the 6 arms and all that kind of stuff.
I had a little bit of enthusiasm to check out this event, and you guys have kind of like sucked it out.
Aaron, be excited about so. All right, that needs to be cherished. If Aaron never has a positive.
Well, I wouldn't say. I'd say mild interest, mild curiosity.
It's maybe unfair to bag on it. Look, the creators are good. The creators are good, sure. I just, as an imprint of a universe, who's kidding who? This is not going years. So, yeah, if you announce like, hey, we're going to create, I don't know, 3 issues, or just 3 issues, double sized, and we're getting good artists, good writers. We don't have to brand it what if, and it's like a bookshelf thing. We're telling you up front, this is what it is. And these stories are going to kick ass because they're all going to end. There's no ongoing stuff. We're just going to knock it out of the park. Here you go, Midnight Universe, cool. I think it's a whole different ballgame, and I think it's a lot more to get excited about.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got the best writers they probably could, though.
Was there ever a what if issue? Because like one that stands out in my mind is like, what if the X-Men lost Inferno? And it's just really dark, and everything is awful because they lost Inferno, and the demons have completely taken over the world. And I'm wondering, because I know we got a lot of knowledge on this panel right now, was there ever a what if where they were like, if the heroes hadn't have won, things would have actually been better?
No, but I think that
they've never taken that tact, right? That would just be something different.
Not exactly. I mean, you've got things like, so we'll get to Marvel, but like an Invincible, right? You had that storyline play out of, what the hero was fighting for didn't work or didn't win, and Robot, took control of the planet and everything else, and it was better. It turned out better for society that way. Mm-hmm. They've explored stuff like that. I mean, you've explored the like, what if, Iron Man got his way and the Superhero Registration Act really took hold and all that. So you've told that, and it's like, oh, everybody's at peace, but it's, they're afraid to say something, and we don't have true freedom. I mean, that's probably the closest you got.
That Invincible storyline it didn't even bother me. It bothered me the way everyone reacted to Robot taking over. I'm like, you bitches, when they got there. But I do acknowledge it's a pretty good storyline for the most part.
Yeah, it didn't play out, but the heroes were all doing a lot of the same things that Robot was doing, but then he does it, and they're like, oh my god, I don't know how you could take command of stuff like this. It's like you've taken cities up into space. I mean, come on.
To me, because I read all of Invincible, it's probably one of my favorite series. To me, I think it hits its peak during like the second compendium, and it's like after 100, it has like after that Robot arc, or possibly even during it, has the steepest nosedive, and then it recovers by the end, so it's worth it. To me, I think there's like a 30 issue or so period where it really falls off, but then it gets back off and has one of the most satisfying endings. That's my thought on Invincible. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah. No, I agree. It seemed that was when they did the reboot brief storyline as well. And they're just playing around with stuff, and it felt like it was spinning its wheels for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the same thing happened with Walking Dead. I think that if when Kirkman has like a huge success, and it's like, oh, we can keep this going for a while, and then he's got some other ideas, but maybe they aren't as strong as the initial idea that kind of like launched it. Mm-hmm. I think you do hit those valleys.
Mm-hmm.
Percy, does it feel like Kirkman is about to bring back Invincible again?
I think he's going to keep doing the Battle Beast type series. I don't think he's going to commit to an ongoing series, but I think you're going to get more of a in the world of kind of suit comics. But
like I'm expecting like Invincible 190, whatever will be the next issue at some point.
Well,
you think so?
I know that Amazon's pushing him to get a book started again, actually, but we'll see.
Kind of feels like that's what he's been setting up to get ready for it. You got Capes back, you got Battle Beast going on there for a minute.
That could
introducing
work.
Some of those characters back in.
I think he's like doing everything he had to put off, but I think you might be right, Wes, that he might inevitably be like, all right, fine.
Which would go up against what he just said was the major issue with comic books, that we keep going back to stuff that's old instead of letting new things happen. It's like, I don't know, it feels like you're going back to a lot of old stuff.
But here's the thing, there's plenty they could do.
Hasbro.
I mean, what he could do, he could cheat a bit, because in the last issue of Invincible, right? Spoiler alert, but there's a large gap of time,
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to say that, but it's like there's a lot of stories you could do without continuing, because that final note is so good. I don't want them to touch it. I think, but I mean, again, like Battle Beast, that's great. There's tons you could pull from there. There's tons of other characters you could do stuff with.
Yeah, but who's the one that got gender swapped on the show?
that was a kneecap moment. I'm like, dude, you just kneecapped yourself there. What were they thinking with that, man?
I think there's one really compelling reason to bring back Invincible.
Money,
and that's Mark with a mustache.
He finally is like, you know what? All right.
I embrace my heritage.
Evil Mark.
Omni Mark.
Again.
So Dylan, what do you getting back to this Midnight Universe stuff? It feels like, it's supposed to be a competitor for Absolute Universe, but the Absolute Universe is essentially DC's heroes and how they would evolve and develop in a much darker universe where the threats out there were much more evil in nature and stuff like that. Whereas in Marvel, it feels like they're taking the heroes and just turning them into monsters.
Yeah.
I guess they had to do something unique with their spin or their take on it to compete with it. Do you think that was like the right angle to take? Although Spider-Man appears, like I said, to be kind of a hero, but just deformed.
Yeah, he's the only one with the heroic premise out the gate, but the X-Men one seems weird because it's just purely vampires. Out of the premise was just the X-Men versus vampires. But yeah, and the Phillip Kennedy Johnson one is the one I'm most excited for. He's like the only person at Marvel over the past few years that's shown he can do long form storytelling. Like he's done with it. He's been weaving that same thread through his entire Hulk run, now through Infernal Hulk. And so if Marvel actually gives him the time, I believe he can tell a really good Spider-Man story there. And yeah, that's the one where Spider-Man actually seems like a hero from the straight up from the Apprentice, because seems like Oscorp's up to no good, and he's going to be trying to figure that out.
And another thing, one of the reasons I think Absolute Batman, just besides being Batman and having, like, I guess the most renowned modern Batman writer on it, making it more exciting, is basically every issue is pretty much fucking action-packed, balls to the wall action with like way over the top kind of stuff happening. Ben Percy kind of does that, but that's not exactly what the other writers do.
No, but also Ben Percy, like I was saying earlier, he falls off very quickly. He starts off really strong, and he falls off. So I don't know how long this series goes on and if he can maintain that quality that he always starts out with. But we'll see. Also, something that's worrying, though, is I like the artists they got on there, but we know there's going to be fill-in artists. And can they figure that out? Because that was a problem that Absolute Batman had first, and they fixed very quickly.
Yes.
Was that first fill-in artist
was awful.
Yeah, the fill-in artist we had like in the one issue before that, and then that Mr. Freeze arc, and then after that, they're like, all right, we're just gonna get the best artist to fill in after this, and ever since then, it's like, oh, when Dragota's not there, it's still good, and so if they got to figure that out at Marvel, where like when we have fill-in artists, because obviously these artists aren't going to do every issue, you actually have a good artist come in instead of just the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I remember I saw someone like making an argument against fill-in artists. I'm like, do you know how deadlines work? I'm like, you can't not have fill-in artists.
Well, not every artist can make the deadline, and then
That's what I'm saying,
if they can, they do need to go on vacation and stuff like that.
Right. They need to. They need some. I mean, sometimes it works, but even then, you look at when it was the same artist every issue.
Mhm.
Okay, it wasn't as hyper detailed. Like Jack Kirby, if like could not do, people are like, oh my god, his anatomy's wonky. Yeah. You want those issues out? That's it. So
like, but on the other hand, too, it's like Rook Exodus is always worth the wait because Jason Fabok is that good, and the art will remain consistent, and it's going to collect very nicely.
They need to change Rook X's to just be collected editions, to only come out in trade and hardcovers, because it's ridiculous how long it takes. I love Jason Fabok. I think Rook Exodus is incredible. They need to go the Brubaker Sean Phillips route and be like, we're just releasing trades for this. This is no longer a single issue, because going like, here's one issue, see the next issue in 5 months. That's like not. Yeah. And I'm fine with no fill-in artist for it. I'm fine that this is Fabok's baby. I love it, but just go to collect editions. Give me when you're ready. Whenever you're ready, give me like one trade a year or whatever. Whenever you're ready, give me that full arc, and I'm down. But
the saga model doesn't work for him for sure. I think I wish with Ghost Machine in general they would hire a really strong marketer and PR person who could help land some of these messages, because they do leave a lot of the fans just wondering when it's coming, what's coming next, what's going on. And I think if you could shape the story better, because you go into a lot of comic shops. And the retailers are just barely supporting it in a lot of cases. They're ordering for pull boxes. They don't understand where it's going. They don't know how to position it. And that line is so easy for new readers to come into it. But they're missing some core parts of that business.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because Ghost Machine's great.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, they had the best book of the week this week. Even better than
Geiger was a return to form. I agree. This issue of Geiger was... Because Geiger was like, it was my favorite Ghost Machine book, and then we hit a point where it went from being like incredible to just really good, and now it's back to being like that top tier with this issue. This issue was so good.
Yeah, I thought Absolute Batman 20 was good, but Geiger was even better. I was blown away.
I agree.
So, Perch, you are somewhat into the retailer business again, right?
Yeah.
Did you see all the damages to Absolute Batman 20 this week?
Well, a lot of people are talking about it. It seems to be regional. It seems to be somewhat regional based. I'm not sure what the message there is, but it seemed like some regions got hit really hard, like the Southeast and other areas just got killed with how boxes packed, damage. It just, I don't know.
Well, they're saying it was a printer defect.
Yeah, but I think you're printing in multiple places. I don't know. Some people escaped it, some people hit it, and there's a lot of controversy or not controversy. There's a lot of chatter about that. Mm-hmm. But the bigger question is like that for a while there, Penguin Random House and some of these other guys were doing a really good job of quality control, and something seemed to have completely fallen off the rails. And it wasn't, for what it's worth, it wasn't just comics. A bunch of other books hit it too.
Well, it wasn't just DC. Dork got hit with the printer issues as well.
Yeah.
Right. I think there was but it seems to have only hit the big books like that would have had bigger print runs.
Yeah, I think because they use a different facility as well.
Because it was Martian Manhunter, Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Batman, Barbara Gordon, that new #1, Dork, and there's a couple of other issues that were like the bigger ones. But I know I talked to John at the 616, and he's like, every one of the books, if you open up the exclusive cover, they all have like these 2 creases going right down. He's like, every single issue has
underneath the cardstock variant cover. That thing that they staple on top of an A cover, and that's supposed to be some variant publication. I'm not sold on that.
Oh my God, we found a gimmick.
Problem.
We found a gimmick that Sully's not sold on.
Well, I mean, I just think it's so cheap, and so like you're just stapling cardstock on top of an A cover. That's not. How is that a variant cover? How is that scarcity? You know what I mean? I'm not sold on that.
See, I'll be honest. I didn't even think of it that way. I thought as a business owner, the inner cheap in me goes, I'm like, why am I spending all this money printing other variant covers when I could just print all the same one and then just staple?
Why am I paying for a plate change?
Well, no.
I'm like, why am I paying for this?
Because there's a collectability to it, and it needs to be official from DC. Otherwise, you're going to get sued into oblivion.
But is anyone?
No, not that. It's the company is basically saying we don't really need to tool our print run. We can just do the print run. You can just do the after staple on. It's just weird. I mean, it's an approach. It's cheaper.
Is it bad that I'm like thinking? I'm like, well, damn it, Sully. I'm like maybe.
Sorry, the cold shower of the Sully sus take. Welcome
Usually
to
Usually you have to blind bag a book to guarantee that amount of damage.
That's what they do with their cardstock cover, A cover, or whatever. It's an extra $1, and they staple that thing on the outside.
I don't get the blind bag thing. Like, why would you pay
cardstock cover, A cover, or whatever?
Sorry,
an extra $1.
Somebody's got the echo.
Somebody was watching us on their tablet. It was definitely Sparrow.
It was Sparrow.
I blame you, Aaron Sparrow.
But no, I mean, that's one of the things. Oh, God, what was I gonna say? I'm trying to think.
The variant cover thing.
I had my thought and got derailed.
Well, you have a nice variant cover for Phenomenova 4. I love that John Romito Jr.
Oh yeah,
pastiche. That was beautiful. I ordered that one.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that was fun.
But that's not stapled on top of the A.
No, it's not. Well, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
So, Perch, what do you think the shops are going to do? Because they're all getting, at least the A covers that they had, they're all going to be replaced in the early part of June at no cost to the shop with free shipping as well. Does that mean if you buy the A cover that they're just going to give you as a comic book shop the replacement cover or the replacement issue?
We'll see what the program looks like. That's what it sounds like. I think that is exactly, they'll do a 1-for-1, and they don't really have a big choice because because of publishers, the big two in particular have gone so far into the variants and the exclusive covers and that part of the business. I mean, it's a core business. You screw that up then with Damaged Comics, you're gonna have to make it right, or you're gonna send a really negative message to what's becoming a core part of your revenue.
But so they're not replacing the exclusive covers or the ratio or the incentive variants. They're getting like a 15% credit on whatever the cost of those was.
Yeah, I'd heard they were still toying around with doing a 1-for-1 replacement. If they're not, that's going to bite them bad.
That was not the information they got out just a couple of days ago, but maybe they got a very negative reaction and are having to reconsider because there were over 100 exclusive covers just on Absolute Batman 20.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. This was when you had the non-direct market, right? You're just a newsstand, and comics show up damaged. There's an it's a newsstand, and there's not really much recourse. Comics are returnable, doesn't really matter. But because the business has shifted so much into getting retailers to pay for exclusive comics and buy those minimum orders and push that area of the collectability, you're going to have to do more than just a discount, or the retailers are going to just increasingly shift their business to other products in stock. So they're going to have to think through this program really carefully, because there's just it's built way too much on retailers going for covers.
Do you think the fact that they ended up getting a print run of well over 300,000 because of the 100 exclusive covers has something to do with why the printing was so bad? Maybe they had to go to places they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like I said, the thing that was being talked about in the retailer chat was just that there was it was hitting other books, it was hitting other things. So there's just some, don't know if it's an operational issue at the printer or exactly what went on there, but it sounded like it was pretty far reaching. Again, the crazy part is not necessarily that it happened, because errors and defects happen all the time. Anybody who's done a crowdfunding book or anything knows you get a proof back and it looks wrong, and then you're fighting with them. I mean, that's not uncommon. The fact that they just said screw it and shipped it out anyway is the wacky part.
It's like they didn't discover it until they printed everything. Like, whoops.
Yeah.
You got that this week too. I feel like if you got a copy of Firestorm #2, it was created by Gary Conway. It's yeah, you see
right after he passed away.
That's
right
tough.
after he passes away. Who's
that's
like,
oh man,
who's asleep at the wheel?
That's a
that
different
kind of stuff happens.
there.
I mean,
yeah.
that's yeah.
yeah, that kind of stuff happens.
Kinda
I mean,
close.
you literally
Yeah.
could just Google who created Firestorm and just have that.
Well, you would think that the DC editors would just have like a template. Oh, it's this book. You got to put these credits into it and just copy paste it.
How? I'm sorry, no, that's not forgivable. Ridiculous. That's not forgivable. Yeah, I agree. You can't. That's the easiest thing to get right, dude.
Well, and it does always shock me when you talk to some of these editors how much of the work is done every month, as opposed to you've got like a master file that is on SharePoint or some kind of save drive that spells the name correctly, and you just copy and paste in for the books, or like there's other questions here just about how editors.
Like you would think there would just be a list like,
I
I've got Superman, I've got this character, I've got this character.
Sure.
These are the credits that I have to just pop in there.
Feels like a very simple Excel file.
Yeah.
Dude, even
They
with
should
my
hire me to
issue 4
streamline that process, Perch. I will fucking make sure they never have an issue again.
Look, it's weird. I mean, this is
Firestorm's a fucking good book too. It's pretty darn fun.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever seen Raphael De La Torre, or at least I don't remember seeing them until this issue. But he can really bounce between like a modern style and an 80s homage style pretty easily.
No, it's a really good book.
Yeah. Is it like the coolest new book DC's done this year?
Yeah, it's my favorite this year.
There was a beautiful Sanford Green variant cover for Firestorm 2. I almost got it. Yet once again, I'm like, it's just a cardstock stapled on top of the A cover. So I'm like, I'm sticking with the A cover. You know what I mean?
$1 for a print of Stanford Green. It feels like it'd be worth it.
Great art. Yeah, they had Firestorm 2 had 3 really solid variant covers, and like one of them was a 1 in 10, and it's just one of them looked like an old 80s style playing card, like a gumball card, you know. But I was just
that didn't tickle your feel spots.
Not this one. No, it's because of that whole thing of like it's just a piece of cardstock stapled over the A cover. Having the A cover
doesn't feel authentic.
It doesn't feel authentic. That's to me, that's not a real variant cover. That's not scarcity. That's what's the point of like this is the illusion of having something collectible. This is they're selling you a lie in a way. I mean, that's not really it.
I guarantee you, this would be an interesting topic in extra drop, because I think you'd have very passionate people on both sides of this, because the other argument would be like, hey, I'm getting an extra cover. I mean, you can see that, but I don't know. This doesn't feel like we myself, all we complain about stuff all the time. This is a more interesting one to complain about, though, because it really is truly how the comic is put together and what's there.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I just go, "You're paying an extra $1 for a cardstock pinup. That feels like it'd probably be worth it."
Yeah.
Right?
See, these are the two sides of the argument we got right here.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me, but I can understand why it might bother people. I'm not doing it for this issue, but I could see why those costs add up. But again, if the customer is always right, but it seems the question is like, as a customer, I personally I saw that I was like, But if it bothers the customers enough, then change it. You know.
Well, I would say it doesn't bother him at all because he had 100 exclusive covers. That's what they've been doing for a while now. But me personally, I've only ever like specifically bought one comic book with a variant cover on purpose. So I'm not the target audience personally.
Yeah. 500 variant covers. That's the.
No, 100 and 100.
No, I'm saying that. Yeah, that's crazy though. Just how many variant covers there are.
There has been a book with over 600 variants, right, Perch?
I don't know if it went to 6. There's been more. Yeah. I mean,
like Batman 666 or something didn't have 666 variant covers or something.
That's
no. I don't know. There've been a lot.
It did, Wes, and it opened the portal to the Hellmouth.
There was one book that had like over 600 variant covers as like a specific gimmick.
Speaking of, how's your Dynamite Thundercats #1 doing? Like, is that gaining your, your variant cover gaining your return on investment or not? Let me know in the chat.
Dude, that was when I was like picking up the new Vampirella issues. I was like, what? There was like a whole rack of just. I mean, this is the first time I was exposed to like. I'm like, all for the one issue, and that wasn't even all the variant covers that were. I'm like, what?
That's what Dynamite does. That's how they do their books.
This is why ordering from Dynamite was the worst part of my month every month.
Doc says Amazing Spider-Man 666.
It was Amazing. Okay, that's the one.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That is suspicious.
Here's Doc.
Doc is keeping us in line from
Doc. From
Memorial
afar.
Service. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Doc and I have a good feud going, so it's good.
You have a feud going with Doc?
What are you guys feuding about?
I don't have a feud going with Doc.
For the heart of Teeny Howard.
For the heart of Teeny Howard. That's it. Yeah.
You see, Doc and Doc and Perch are working an angle right now. They've got a feud going, and we're gonna see the payoff with 100 commercial breaks and a bunch of logos.
I want to see Perch brain Doc with a chair, like on the Tonight Show.
Like
that shit's real.
Coconut. You gotta do it with coconut.
You better do it quick. You better do it quick because the Tonight Show's not going to be around much longer.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's funny. I bent over backwards because I'm recording this video and I'm thinking because I'm referencing an event on this show actually like 2 months ago, and I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that nobody has any kind of daylight or anything to misinterpret this and start shit. So I'm like, I go, here's this, here's that, here's that. First comment that comes in, it's like, you're fucking with Doc. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's okay, Perch. You can just straight up call me an asshole on your show. I'm fine with it.
Crazy. It's crazy.
You believe what this asshole Sparrow said?
No, the topic at hand was, I said Teeny Howard. Okay, the interesting person because I haven't enjoyed Teeny Howard's comics. I've talked about Ten of Swords a million times and the stuff there. I'm not a fan, but the human being Teeny Howard is legitimately would be in the running for like top 5 nicest people that you would meet. Like just and in terms of like fan interaction, like we talked all about it. You want the creators to be nice to fans and you want them to take, stop when they see them at a con and talk to them and all the rest. And it's like, you get Phillip Kennedy Johnson, who's a saint, and you get Teeny. Those two are saints.
Steve Orlando supposedly is in that group.
Steve Orlando is awesome, nice as well, for sure.
Terrible writer, can't do shit.
And I think, I think you gotta. So then this is this dynamic of when we're talking about these people, like how do you manage that? Like really nice person, don't like the comics. Anyway, I frankly, actually, like I just said it, I think is how you do it, but apparently it's not that simple.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like the epiphany that I had when like that Vaughn was talking about earlier. Is I just kind of got to the point where I was like, there's people in the comic book industry that are genuinely terrible people. And then there's a lot of really nice people in the comic book industry, and maybe their work isn't the best, but they're nice people. And so like I kind of had the same thought, Perch, of like how do you navigate that? Like how do I say like I can't remember Teeny ever writing anything that was for me or that I enjoyed, but everything I hear about Teeny is that she's absolutely delightful. And that's another thing. Like even in the so like in one of my other gigs, like we kind of work with voice actors. And there is one voice actor in particular, I'm not going to say who, but like a lot of fans online are always like, how does this person keep getting work? Well, the answer is that this person actually is good at what they do, but also they really care and they're really easy to work with. So that's why they keep getting gigs.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that it's a business, and that's not the fun part. But people who like sound sad but can clear the bar of gets their stuff in on time, not a crazy person, doesn't flake out and make your stuff late, doesn't scream at other creators. Like believe it or not, there's a lot of people who do not clear that bar, and that's people are sometimes asking like, why does Marvel give Steve Orlando so much work? On time. Gets his stuff done, is not an asshole to work with. It's you do want to get
sometimes you get a hero that's a sleep raper though.
Yeah, well, you do want the books to sell well. You want them to be good, but you not being an asshole, it goes a long way.
Sometimes as an editor, you just want that script on time. You don't want to have to chase down another Dan slot. You're like, look, it's in. I don't. It's
we
fine.
can only squeeze Christos Gage for so much blood to fill up for.
He's in the thing like in Blade, the deleted scene where he's like in the blood bag and they're just sucking the life out of him.
Yeah. No, I love
what's
that.
wild about Teeny is I can't remember a good comic book that Teeny has written, but I can remember liking a couple of the Steve Orlando Green Lantern stories, I think specifically over at DC. I think it had a decent Nightwing issue. I can remember a short story by Vita Ayala that I thought was fucking hot. So it's tough to write that many comic books and not do anything good. Stephanie Phillips actually had a whole miniseries that wasn't bad.
The T. Howard did good work, I think, way back in the day with Conan, as I recall. But this goes back a ways. But I may.
Are you talking about that Belit stuff?
No. There were short stories before they gave her that, if I'm remembering correctly, which I might not be. But that's, I think, how she got that gig. Yeah. But anyway, there you go.
It's hard to write 300 comic books and not have a banger. Is what I'm saying.
To be honest, I kind of enjoyed her Catwoman. She did a Catwoman a couple of years ago, and she had like Stefano Rafali on art, and I really like his art. And she totally dropped the ball by the end of Selena's arc there. It just it fell apart like a messy sandwich. But
is that the one where Catwoman's in prison and the cats were bringing her sandwiches, or is that Stephanie Phillips Catwoman?
I think that's Stephanie Phillips.
That might be right.
Yeah.
They both were pretty terrible. There's a really good interlude with Ram V, I think, between of what, or maybe he was before Titty. That was actually kind of good Catwoman for about a year.
It just, I think, if part of the issue that people have had, and to be fair, I don't hear it as much anymore, but for a while, if you go to like 2016 to 2020, the part of the narrative, what people were pissed about, is that creators were acting like lunatics to fans, which in fairness was a problem. There was actually some really shitty behavior going on. And so if, I credit where credit's due. Creators that actually take the time out. I mentioned Phillip Kennedy Johnson, again, spent time talking to my kids. I know spent time talking to your kids, Wes. Like, this is a really awesome guy who goes out of his way. Jim Zub, another one that's like one of the nicest people in the world you could talk to. You have to kind of give credit to that. And then separately, there's the stories. But I do think you can separate that. That is an easy thing to do.
Well, a lot of it too depends on what kind of guidance they get, and a lot of these creators, they get no guidance. There's no editorial oversight. They're not really working with them to make sure that the stories are good. They're not developing them in any way. I say it all the time. Like, there's people that do I think that Teeny has the ability to put a script together? Do I think that she could tell a good story? Yeah, I actually do. I actually do think that that's possible. But I think that you've got a lot of people who've been in the industry for a while and they've never really been mentored, and they've kind of developed a lot of bad habits and a lot of tells and crutches in their writing. And it used to be that you would have people that would work with the new writers that would get them up to speed, and then they'd have a pretty decent career. And that just doesn't exist anymore, because all of this is just so get it out the door.
Conveyor belt.
I can kind of, I look at it. Sorry, just jumping right into that. You look at, for example, Claremont's run. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so great because he was this young upstart, whatever." But he worked there, did stuff earlier as an intern, and then on top of that, look at the editors. So Len Wein plotted out the first 2 issues of his run, and then he had already consulted on Giant Size. And then you had Marv Wolfman was his first editor. You had Roy Thomas was the editor in chief. He was also
an editor before he ever wrote a book.
That's what I'm saying. And he was a consultant on Giant Size. So my point that I'm making is he always had, and then he had Louise Simonson, who was also talented. And then you had, Ann Nesenti, who is also talented. You look at like the editors, they were always people, or going to Frank Miller, who was his first, like his run was, he had freaking Denny O'Neil,
Right.
who was already known for doing these street level crime stories as his editor. I mean, you look at the editors back
I don't
then,
think the editors made Frank Miller. Frank Miller is just a fucking prodigy.
well, that I agree with, but my point is,
It
like,
helps,
you can't,
yes.
having Denny O'Neil as, it's not a coincidence when you see Denny O'Neil as an editor on a book. A lot of those books end up good, right? I mean, we talked about the Claremont run. It was basically the Claremont Simonson run. You know, when they were working together, it was just amazing stuff. I think the problem is that a lot of these writers, you even if you talk to them at cons, like, well, I really learned, that was how I was taught. And I think that's such an important part of the industry that's lost, is like, just editors they're not just the people that make sure you get the deadlines. They were also involved in creatively in other ways too. They were also talented in their own. These editors weren't just editors. They were people that did it themselves. And so now they knew how to mentor.
Louise Jones, she edited all those Uncanny X-Men books and, shepherded in that Age of X Factor and New Mutants. I mean,
Right.
you know her as Wheezy Simonson. That's where she met her hubby. And it's a wonder. She was the editor. She was that driving, force of Uncanny X-Men. You had a great assemblage of a team. You had Claremont writing, and then you had all these great artists. Byrne.
I think we
Paul
sucked
Smith.
Uncanny X-Men's dick enough on this show.
All right, fine. We'll go with something else.
No, you're
Dylan, are you sleeping or
given-
playing video games? The people want to know.
I'm just watching the show, dude. I'm gonna just hear all everyone else's,
See,
Let's
Dylan,
go.
like me, monitors the chat.
Dylan, it
Yeah.
works for you too, though. It's like in DC books, for every books, the editor had a job that was very fundamental to mentor and coach and knew the writing chops and all the rest. You had a lot of great writers who were editors, and so you had that as a function.
But,
Today's
yeah.
editor functions way more as a controller. Their job is to get the pages, get it out, get
Manage.
the keeping rolling.
Production cycle.
And most of their job is involved in the pitch. And so back to your first topic around Midnight, they focus on the pitch. And this is an area where, at least, again, I've heard somebody like a Teenie Howard is really good at the pitch. Like, I'm going to do this, and these are the beats, which is a very different thing than then to put it into the comic book and do the writing. So if your editor is just focusing on the incoming pitch and not the actual production of the story, it's a major difference. I think you're making a great point there.
Absolutely. Cyber reviews. I wonder if Marvel is going to reference the 2001 remake of Earth versus the Spider with Dan Aykroyd for the Midnight Universe Spider-Man.
Was Dan Aykroyd in Earth versus the Spider? Oh, the 2001 remake. Okay. No, I prefer the original.
I've never seen this. What is it?
Well, the original Earth versus the Spider, you should go watch the Mystery Science Theater version as soon as you can.
That's
Is it as good as the Blob?
No,
No.
It's funnier. It's funnier.
Okay. The 1958. Okay.
It sounds like. Are you saying it's a bad film?
I'm saying that if you watch it on Mystery Science Theater, you'll have a good time, is what I'm saying.
That's right. Yeah.
But we've seen one image, but it's a kind of blurry image of what this Spider-Man's going to look like, Perch. And he's kind of weird looking.
Sure.
He's very deformed.
I mean, why not?
You haven't seen it?
No, I know. I've seen. I mean, sure. It's a blobby image of a deformed guy. I mean, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Not exactly sure exactly what he's going to look like. Galb says, but TD is so boring. As a writer, I think so.
Yeah.
I think
You mean
TD
as
recently won Jeopardy or something, right?
Yeah, she was on Jeopardy last month. She lost, but
she lost. Never mind.
Well, I think she came in second, but second place is just the first loser.
Exactly.
Second place, the first loser. That's so good.
But you know what? None of us have ever been on Jeopardy.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Except for Perch. Except for
As far
Perch.
as you know.
See, I want to get that rumor started where people are like going back through
That
old
episode
episodes
of
of Jeopardy, like obsessively trying to find Perch to get a face reveal.
More of a Wheel of Fortune guy, I think. Yeah.
Parch, is it true that Titty is like the world's greatest like dungeon master?
I have no idea about that. All I know is very friendly.
Wow. Apparently that's like one of her things.
Yeah, that was like everybody's thing back in the like 2015, 18. Like Stranger Things came out and they were playing games, and suddenly all these people are coming out of the woodwork of being TSR experts.
I don't know. I'd play a game of Dungeons and Dragons with Teeny Howard.
Why not?
I would definitely play Dungeons and Dragons. I got nobody to do that with here. Z Web Slinger. Avon, is Galvanite a self-insert?
I mean, look, I came up with the idea when I was a kid, and in my infinite wisdom as a second grader, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna write this movie, direct it, star in it, and they'll give me millions." So that look just kind of stuck. So in a lot of ways, and I kind of lent. I'm like, yeah, people are gonna say it is anyway. So I pull from a lot of my life. So I mean, I make no. It's definitely inspired by me. I don't know if I'd say self-insert. Depends on how you define it.
I mean, that's okay. I mean,
no, I don't. I'm debating genuinely because a lot of self-insert. I guess it would depend on how you define the term.
I mean, yeah, if it's being used as a pejorative, but I mean, look at Aaron Sparrow. I mean, Doomface is definitely self-insert.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
it depends on your definition of self-insert, is what I'll say. Either yes or no. I don't know. I didn't really.
You design the character after yourself. It's a self-insert.
Well, I said he's a blonde character with green eyes, and so
with your life experience.
life experience. So legally distinct is what I'll say.
It's not like probably self-insert.
So probably, yeah. Probably.
Self-insert doesn't have to be a bad thing. Warren Ellis used to put self-inserts into everything, and they were actually interesting.
Stephen
characters.
King. H.P. Lovecraft, all of his characters are really weird, antisocial. But yeah, probably a self-insert.
There's characters in Kneel Before Doomface that draw on my life experience, but like none of them are me.
Sure.
Dude, Steve Ditko, I didn't know how much he looked like Peter Parker until I saw side by side. I'm like, oh my god.
Sully, the closest I come to Doomface is in Traffic. That's when you start to get the Doomface speeches, about like retribution and raiding hellfire.
You didn't use your blinker.
So we do have time for one more topic. We'll hit it real quick. Percy, did you notice that Marvel Comics didn't kill Steve Rogers once, but twice this week?
That's crazy.
Yeah, we did.
And Captain America.
Yeah. Did he now in Captain America? Is he mortally wounded but okay? I mean, he's going to what?
He shows up in hell.
Yeah. It
but
appears he gets crushed and appears in hell afterwards. So
I don't think Captain America would go to hell. I think he would go to heaven.
Well, that's why I don't think this is a near-death experience or some other magical shenanigans that are going on there. But yes, I mean, he had bars sticking through him, so who knows? I mean,
there's some rebar going right through his chest.
Also, though, he sees Doom there. Isn't Doom dead?
Yeah, Doom's dead. But again, Doom's also got kid clones running around. I mean, who the F knows? But I definitely dead in the Ultimate Universe, right? Decapitated.
Was that not the most anticlimactic thing? Because by the time that moment happens in the book, I was just tapping out, hoping that it was over because I was so tired of reading it.
I don't like this. This conclusion sucks. I mean, and it's a combination of the art bugs me. The story is all over the place. I mean, it does feel very anticlimactic. It actually feels like these writers were all moving. I mean, we complained about it. Hickman was moving at a snail's pace for some of that comic, and then suddenly we're at this one. They're like, kill this guy, cut this guy's head off. We're doing this thing over here. The Visions, this is just throwing spaghetti at the wall as fast as humanly possible.
I had no idea the Dodsons had the worst Captain America ever.
Really?
It just looks awful.
I thought it. Hold on.
I will suggest you Rob Liefeld's titty cap, but
sure.
That
was promo art. It was never even published.
Yeah, look at the interiors. There's not much.
Way better in the interiors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
What are you trashing on Rob Liefeld? He's a fucking icon.
Yeah, but his art sucks.
But come on. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, I've said it before. When you see it, can you look away? No, you can't. It's interesting. It grabs your attention. It's not good, but it's like
the Dodsons.
You're kind of interested in it, but But yeah, no, it's like, and I wouldn't even be this like on the nose with Rob if it wasn't for the fact that like he's just got such an overinflated sense of self-importance. And
Man
like
sold
his
1 million
contribution to
comic
industry.
books on his name alone, Sparrow.
No,
He generated $1 billion movie franchise solely on
he
him.
did not generate $1 billion movie
He absolutely
franchise.
did not. No.
He
What are you talking
co-created.
about?
He co-created a character that
No,
did
he's
not become
he
a
is
character
Deadpool.
until he was off of that character.
Yeah, agreed. 100% agreed. That this is the biggest kind of change of history, gaslighting, misremembering of what went on. The Deadpool we see in the movies is the Deadpool that followed Liefeld, not Liefeld's.
Everything interesting about Deadpool, anything anybody ever found interesting about Deadpool, aside from his look, comes from not Rob Liefeld. Comes from Joe Kelly, comes from Fabian Nicenza.
Are we not going to get Bill
comes
Finger,
from-
Bob Kane their flowers because Batman evolved over time?
Yeah, no, Bob Kane gets no flowers because what he designed is not what ended up even on the page. He's even worse than Rob at being able to take credit for something because, good Lord, you want a red-clad Batman with his hair out and a little diamond mask and big Leonardo da Vinci wings? That's Bob Kane's Batman. Everything good about Batman came from Bill Finger.
Jeez, there's a bunch of fucking haters in here.
No, just people that want to set the
No,
record straight.
well, I mean, I just to be fair, I mean, ask Steranko for his Bob Kane takes. A lot of people, I don't feel that way.
No, we're trashing Rob Liefeld. Hey, Rob Liefeld's
Okay.
fucking
Rob
comic
Liefeld?
gem.
I'd like to know what
institution.
Steranko. Now I want to know what Steranko thinks about Rob Liefeld.
Oh, about Rob Liefeld, I don't know. I thought I was talking about Bob Kane.
No, but
I
I'm
know
saying
what
like now I want to know what Steranko thinks because
Yeah, I think we all
honestly,
know.
I would sit down and I would listen to what Steranko thinks about pretty much anything. He's just even if I
He's
disagree with him, he's just interesting. Like he's just one of those guys that
Have
does
you ever
command
met
your
him?
attention. Yeah, I met him multiple times.
Yeah,
Maybe
no, me
so.
too. He's great. Yeah, he's
I wish
great.
he did more interviews. I mean, he's got such a wealth of knowledge that I think when he passes, we're going to lose.
Yeah,
and
I
wish
asked him.
Yeah,
And
no,
he
we asked him too.
I'm sure you did. What was
yeah,
his
and
what was his excuse for you? Let's see. Let's compare notes.
oh no, it was just like he doesn't really feel the need to do any. Like he's not promoting himself, and so he doesn't really feel the need to to carve time out for that. And he said, plus, like having to set up the technology and figure out when to be there and how to handle it. Like it's just he's like
But
I mean, I'd like to-
Singer's, he's on it. Rob is the reason Image Comics exists.
One of them. Yeah.
one of 7,
One of a
maybe one
few.
of 6. Yeah.
Look, it's not that Rob is like worthless, No, of course not. Rob has contributed to comics 100%. He's done a lot to comics, but at the same time, a lot of the things that he grabs credit for himself were done by other people, and that's just conveniently left out all the time when he's talking. So it's like, and plus, you do get a little tired of the wild swings between Marvel is amazing. It's a great company. All you haters suck. You fans who are insulting it are terrible when they're paying him. And then when they're not inviting him to after movie parties, then suddenly the company is on the brink of death. It's just, dude, pick a lane and stay in the lane.
And don't tell somebody that, your cover won a contest and you're going to be on a cover of Youngblood. And when they ask like, hey, what issue is it going to be on? You treat them like absolute shit and then block them. Answer the question. Just say, I'm not sure yet. It's really easy. I haven't decided where to slot it in yet, but you did win. You ran a contest. The guy won. The cover was beautiful.
Yeah.
And no, I disagree with Cosmortal Comics that he is not responsible for Deadpool's success. The people that made Deadpool successful are responsible for Deadpool's success. The story elements that they added to Deadpool that made him a character and not just a look. Go read Youngblood and all of the Cable knockoffs, all of the Deadpool knockoffs. None of them are interesting. Do you know why? Because that's Rob's creative vision for the character. If he had stuck around at Marvel, if he had been able to continue to work with people, and instead of like not wanting to draw things that people wanted him to draw and just do what he wanted to do, he would have in a world where he would have stayed on Deadpool would be as famous as, I don't know, what's one of the Deadpool knockoffs?
Might be a $2 billion franchise.
Vandal.
Liefeld still sits around.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, it'd be doing very well on Whatnot. Deadpool would be, but
It's
overall cultural
Deadpool
impact.
sold lots of comics in my shop that paid for rent and electricity. So all credit and definitely respect and appreciate that for sure.
He saved New Mutants.
Deadpool did?
No.
Rob Liefeld did.
No, he did not. He
No,
This is where I have to disagree.
That is
saved it.
100% wrong.
Disagree.
Nope.
100%. He saved it so hard that the series got canceled because of it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, it became X-Force,
The
but it
sales
wasn't
numbers only tripled.
right, but it wasn't New Mutants anymore, though.
Tell me something compelling about the first 7 issues of X-Force, Wes. What's
I
a
haven't
really
read
Rob
compelling
Liefeld on it.
character? What's a really compelling
covers.
character or story?
Tell me anything that happened in any of the issues of this first 7.
Those are really good covers.
Anything that happened in the comic.
I haven't read it in a while. I'm reading G.I. Joe right now.
Well, it was memorable. I haven't read the Claremont X-Men in a while, but I can tell you things that happened in it. I can, probably down to exact dialogue. You know why?
I'll tell you,
Because it was compelling and it stuck with me.
I can pull out a Wheezy moment in X Factor, no problem right now.
Nice.
I can pull out some you want to talk about great art on New Mutants? Brett Blevins.
Oh hell yes.
Brett Blevins, he was
perkiest bits you've ever seen.
Yeah, really.
And beautiful inks by Terry Austin.
Mhm.
Did he? Brett Blevins?
Not a finger. I don't like you implying that I read Youngblood. I do not.
I mean, yeah, well, that's the thing, because people are like, "Oh, Rob Liefeld's New Mutants." It's but it wasn't by that point. To be fair, I understand why they kind of had to kill New Mutants as a series, which effectively basically what we're seeing in the Rob Liefeld stuff is the slow descent of New Mutants, to the point where I understand why they had to change it, because by the time he comes on, they've already gotten rid of Magic, Cypher, what's her name? Danny Moonstar. They've gotten rid of Mirage. So it was basically barely even New Mutants anymore by that point.
But what about that Steve Rogers? Can you believe they killed that fucker twice in 1 week? They must really hate Captain America.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Well, it was supposed to be a big moment in Ultimate Endgame.
Well, talking about his book, the Zdarsky book, that's set in the past, so we know he's alive today. So
No,
he gets better, right?
No, this one's not. That was the
This
first
one's
arc.
in
was
present.
set in the
Oh,
past.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
This is
arc was set
setting
in the
up
past. This was
Armageddon,
not.
which
But-
is going to be Cap versus Doom and Red. Well, I don't know. It's going to be something else.
Yeah, but considering he dies and goes to hell and shows up in front of Doom, I'm just assuming that when he was taking his last dying breaths, Doom and Hell did some funky stuff to get him there. That's what I'm assuming happened there.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I
Cap
think
shouldn't
it's
go to hell. He should go to heaven. He should be at the pearly gates.
No, but that's Dylan. I think is 100% right. It's he's mortal peril, and Doom's doing some magical shenanigans to get him into hell to help Doom escape from hell. Or who this is where it's all wrapped up, and they'll But to your point, yeah, it is kind of weird that and Marvel does this routinely. Where in the same week we'll get 4 Punisher comics all at once, or in the same week we get Captain America killed in this. And this goes back to some level of overarching editorial control, maybe less ramen for CB Swolsky and more actual managing a portfolio of books, so you do not have all the moments hit at the exact same time.
Yeah, not very good. Now we do need to get some comic book recommendations, because Sparrow, you have told me that you are exiting stage left.
Yeah, I've actually got to take off a little bit early today. So I mean, I don't really have any comics to recommend this week.
Bust out those toys, baby. Everybody wants to see them.
I've got a ton of toys, but I'd have to go all the way across the room to get them. But I have bought a lot of toys this week. A lot of good clearance going on right now. But yeah, no, I don't have anything at the moment. So I just want to say thank you.
Definitely recommend Real American Hero. Andrew Cranky on.
Oh, that was this week, right?
It wasn't very good this week. The art was great, but man, that dialogue was.
The dialogue was really rough.
It was really, yeah. This was the first. I've really liked this Skybound G.I. Joe. It feels like Larry Hama's got second breath, but this issue was.
It's probably the weakest one. Still worth the read. Fantastic guy. Because you're in the fucking spotlight, Sparrow.
I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't have anything to say except I agree.
No.
Play your tablet again.
I agree with Dylan that the dialogue was really rough. It was the most ham-fisted way to introduce characters and character names in those first couple pages. That I really felt it. And normally Larry gets away with it. Sometimes he does that, but he makes it work. And this just really felt like first draft, get it on the page, then go back later and refine it. But he never had the time to refine it.
Yeah.
First we trashed Liefeld. Now
the art was
trashing
really
Hama.
good though, but
what legend we trashing next?
I'm not trashing him. I'm just saying it wasn't his strongest.
Jerry
issue.
Conway gets discredited in a book this week.
Too soon, Wes. Too soon. I don't know why you'd do that.
DC did that. It wasn't me.
Heartbreaking.
Well,
I just want to say thank you to the chat. Thanks to Perch and Vaughn for joining us. Always a good time when you guys come on. And all right, everybody, have a good week.
See you, Aaron.
And Rain Deck 7 says Fabian Nicieza and Joe Kelly are the ones who are mainly responsible for Deadpool becoming popular.
1000%. And is responsible for his current character style and how he talks and everything that makes the movie popular.
What about Ryan Reynolds?
Well, no, and then he carried it off. Reynolds absolutely deserves tons of credit for,
Nolan North also helped when they did that Hulk versus Wolverine thing. Deadpool got a bump there when Nolan North played him in that. I remember him getting a pretty good bump there.
Yep, that's true.
I don't know. That fucking design is really good. I mean, he stole it from a really cool looking character at DC Comics. Made it a little bit sleeker.
He did what now? What was that? What was that again?
He borrowed, the main elements for Deadpool from Deathstroke.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, of course, and look, credit.
Even borrowed his name.
To know what to borrow,
Nope.
But without the look, I don't know that the character ever becomes that popular. So, yes, Fabian and Joe Kelly probably played a role in it, but so did Rob.
Rob would, I think, gain massive amounts of credit if he acknowledged that Fabian and Kelly had a contribution to it. I think that's half the reason why people get frustrated with him is that he completely no, they had nothing to do with it. It's just a design. It's nothing else. It's
I think
maybe if Marvel invited him to the goddamn after part of the movie, he'd give some credit out there. Or they're trying to steal his thunder.
I don't. I'd love to know the background behind why he wasn't, but I've heard plenty of stories.
All right, there you go. People are loving that shit.
Comic book creators don't deserve rights, is what I hear. They never no after parties for you. We get that, like the catering department, all of them gets in, but no credit for the people that created the characters ever.
All right, Vaughn, you want to pimp out your book and maybe give us some recommendations here at the end of the show?
Yeah. So this is Phenomenal. I don't know. Should I share my screen or?
Do whatever you got to do, sir.
Yeah, sounds good. So Phenomenova is my comic book series. It's set 20 years after World War III. Follows a brand new generation of heroes. I always say an age of deconstruction and cynicism. It's a reconstitution of the superhero genre. In our fourth issue, we'll really bring my main character Galvanite in as he starts finally training with the title team Phenomenova in order to join it. If you're a fan of the Claremont X-Men run or New Mutants, or you like Marv Wolfman's New Teen Titans, even some Invincible, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, or the Stan Lee Spider-Man stuff too, this book is for you. In terms of stuff I've been reading, it's funny, like I've been mostly reading when I can crowdfunded books and other indie books, which kind of saves me from some of this, honestly. And like Josh Howard's stuff I've been reading recently, he is fantastic. I like, what have I been reading? Psylocke Ninja. That if you're a fan of the Frank Miller Daredevil stuff or the Claremont X-Men stuff, it's like a mix between those. It's set during that period of time where like it has like Elektra and Psylocke are fighting. That series is like a must read. Like I can't that's probably my number one on the shelves right now for stuff to read. Obviously Battle Beast. My answer is going to be pretty basic. Like Battle Beast, you got to read that. But yeah, those are some of my takeaways. Is Psylocke Ninja. If there's nothing else, if you read one book that's on the shelf right now, make it Psylocke Ninja. They're about to finish them.
Web Slayer says Liefeld leaving was the reason Marvel went bankrupt, and he's got a bit of a point there.
No, I mean I love you, Web Slinger, but no, that had nothing to do with it.
He took his audience with it.
Todd had a bigger audience at the time. So did Jim Lee.
There's no way Todd could have taken fucking New Mutants to the height that Rob did. Come on, he's on fucking Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. All right. Fair enough. We're going to sell this over Arby's.
I fucking love Arby's.
And short burly slides.
You got any recommendations?
Kill you.
You got any recommendations this week, buddy? I'm talking to Perch.
Oh, to me. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, look, I think
this is a good week, dude.
Yeah, it is. Firestorm was great. Like issue 1 was good. Issue 2 was good. I think that's locking in as a really good series. I liked Barbara Gordon Breakout. Actually, I thought that was interesting. I mean, parts of that premise didn't go, but I did like that premise, and so I'm interested in where that goes. Action Comics. I'm enjoying this run. I did not think I would enjoy this this current storyline, but I think they're doing some good stuff with it. So that's good. To me, this was the week for DC anyway of the core universe, putting out some pretty strong books. To even the medium books, the ones that weren't necessarily the best, were still solid. I mean, they were enjoyable reads. I haven't been a fan of Martian Manhunter. I'm the guy on the internet who doesn't like it apparently. And Absolute Batman, while it's a fun series, like to me, this was one of the weaker issues. So I
thought Scarecrow fucking brought it this week.
I really like this.
Scarecrow's a good character. I like the thing of the Joe Chilled conversation was interesting, and it's interesting, but this was a bridge issue to me between the previous one and kind of where they're going in this arc. But it's fine. My point here is the core DC universe was pretty solid this week. And over Marvel, I mean, we talked about before, even though Cap's dead, the Captain America 11 I thought was good. I do like this storyline. I like that Zdarsky's doing something with this book. I like all parts of it, but it does feel like for once in a while, this book actually has some kind of purpose. We've had plenty of issues where Cap is questioning what it means to be an American, and I'm glad that we're getting at least a little bit like somewhat of a different story, which is nice. And we talked about Geiger already. I'm a fan of that. Department of Truth was a step up this week. I haven't been really loving that comic for a while, and I feel like it's getting into a slightly better zone. And yeah, the Skybound stuff continues to be good. Dork was good this week. I mean, it was a lot of good comics this week for me.
Man, I take issue with your Skybound, man. I thought the Transformers is just falling off. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I have not read Transformers yet. I have read G.I. Joe, and I guess this is 328. So I'm blurring the last 2 weeks together because with the Skybound stuff, I do tend to pile up the issues and then read them all because they're better that way for me, rather than
outside of Transformers. It's good.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm looking at I pulled up a list after I finished talking to see if I missed anything, and I'm seeing that I'm thinking more about last week, but that's where it's at.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got any big videos people need to be paying attention to? Maybe a big interview coming up?
I am like, yes, there's a big interview coming very soon, and it's a big artist who doesn't do a lot of comics anymore, but has a kind of project that he's been doing on the internet that they're finally going to put into print that I think people will like.
Rob Liefeld?
No, but it's a big one.
I think I might know who you're
Rob
talking about.
Liefeld would be crazy after this conversation.
No, Rob and I have battled back and forth many times, and I do land back on the hey, you help me pay rent, and I will forever credit you for that, and there's no taking that away from him for sure. I just the overhype. I mean, I think he's perfectly fine with who he is and what he's done. It's the going above and beyond that stuff that to me makes it a little bit insufferable. But whatever.
All right, Sully, what you recommending this week, sir?
I got 4 floppy funny books from my local comic book shop this week, but we're also talking about crowdfunded books. I backed last week's special guest. We had Mike Barron on, and I finally backed Bronze Star 1 and 2. He's in his last 24 hours of that on Kickstarter, and I helped get him over too. So he's like, I was talking with him on DM this morning. He's gonna mail me some postcards and stuff, like because I was like, he needed like one more $55 over. I'm like, I got you, Mike. And so I did that. I also backed Reenie's hardcover of her Vaughn, help me out with the title there.
Incurvative. I haven't backed that yet.
And it's a wonder. I love Reenie's stuff, and I'm so proud to have backed it. And I got a hardcover copy as well because I like nice stuff. I like hardcovers, binding. It's going on my coffee table. It's a sexy book full of sexy demon girls, and I'm into that. My 4 floppies this week I got from my local comic book shop. I go every Wednesday. I got Emperor Aquaman number 17, and just another chapter and a really good Jeremy Adams book. The Bruce Timm's art is really good, but the real strength is in the coloring. This thing is just all over the place with the spectrum of the colorist, and it's simultaneously a lot to take in, but pretty impressive.
So it's John Timms. You said Bruce Timms.
John, thank you. You know I'm good for at least one. That was a week, man. Thank you for getting my back. Yeah, it was kind of a blah week on G.I. Joe and on Transformers coming out of Skybound Image. But I did get this line art variant of the A cover. So, that worked for me. And I can't get over Shockwave's head. You know what I mean? Just being this disembodied eye, But yeah, I'm kind of losing steam. I'll stick with it for a while, but I'm not quite done with it yet. But my pick of the week is got to be Firestorm #2. Great art. I love the story so far. I love what your Perch was mentioning. Was it Perch or Dylan saying about the how the artist goes from like this really good classic Bronze Age look to
Wesley?
That was what? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. And but this is really good. It's moody. It's got atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's got some tension. And where is this going? So this got my attention. It's got my dollar, and it stays on my pull list. And those are my picks of the week. Thank you, everyone, in the world's best chat. And keep those comments coming. Keep this conversation going in the comment section. We talk about this all week long. Cheers.
And I think the other thing about that Firestorm book, Birch, specifically, is that is new reader friendly. If you don't know who Firestorm is, or maybe you see him in a TV show, or you're kind of aware of the character, it's going to be all explained to you.
Oh, that's good.
It also just got extended to 9 issues as well. That just got announced this week. So
yeah,
happy about that.
That's an art, actually, just real quickly, because I think it's an awesome point you're making. The comics, people misunderstand new reader friendly as we can only use new characters, or we have to wipe out all history and continuity, or we can't reference anything that ever happened in the past and have to do kind of a silly
half of it
story.
needs to be a recap. No, you need to integrate it into the fucking story.
New reader friendly means just you're introducing some things that certainly pay off for old readers, but you either explain it as you go, or you just let it be a mystery. You write in a way that it's attractive to new people. And Firestorm is very much steeped in a lot of DC history, and yet it's super. If you're unfamiliar with the character, you can pick it up, you can read it. It's great.
Yeah, you'll get exactly who Firestorm is within the first issue. All right, Dylan, are you going to be watching the big fight this weekend? We got Gina Carano. We got Ronda Rousey. One of the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, we
Francis
got Nate
Ngannou. Santos.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm interested in the Arnold Allen fight. He's fighting on the UFC this week, and today. I like Arnold Allen a lot. I wish he would leave his coach Farasahabi though, because Farasahabi is just completely anti-finish and plays everything so safe. But that should be a fun fight. The rest of that card's not very good, so I might watch that. But the Netflix card's kind of just all. I don't really care about any of those fights. It's a bunch of stuff that doesn't mean anything. I don't really care. So maybe if I'm bored, I might find a stream to pirate because I don't have Netflix. But
Goodness,
super into that.
You got any books you want to recommend?
Yeah, some good comics this week. Absolute Batman #20 was really good. I liked it a lot. The way Scarecrow talks, I was hearing Walton Goggins' Boyd Crowder. Like that's what I was hearing in my head when reading him talking. So I really liked Absolute Batman #20. Action Comics 1098 was pretty good. I haven't been a big fan of Mark Waid's run, but this latest issue I thought was pretty good. I liked it. Geiger #23 was incredible. A return to form for Geiger. That was definitely my pick of the week. Highly recommend that. Fury of the Firestorm #2 was really good, even better than the first issue. And Emperor Aquaman #17 was great. Some very intense stuff with Jarro in this issue, and I like the direction that we're going with Emperor Aquaman.
Dude, I love Jarro. He's such a cool character.
He is.
My only issue is that he needed swimming trunks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just had like that. He had like a sash or whatever with like the Aquaman symbol, and that was it.
Yeah.
Aquaman's worth reading now. Then I gotta.
Yeah,
Aquaman,
we're 17 issues into Jeremy Adams' run. It's been great.
Yeah, I gotta read Jeremy Adams' stuff. I've read a few issues of Green Lantern, and I really liked it because my boy V.K. Marion did some of them. So speaking of which, there is a V cover on my campaign. Just saying, but he's great, dude. Him and Jeremy Adams, those guys are killing it.
Dylan, you got any big streams or videos people need to know about?
Yeah, I did a video covering all the Midnight stuff and going into detail about the details we got from Marvel for Midnight. And I did a stream last night talking about all things comics and going over the Eisner nominations because those were pretty funny.
Yeah. It's Jeff got nominated. Woo!
Yeah, Mariko Tamaki got nominated for Best Writer. There's some real great, a lot of real great people that are really in the know and have their finger on the pulse of comics making
I'm
those
rooting for
nominations.
Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah, they were a little off. I was going to do a video, but I was like, at this point, everybody knows the editors are kind of a joke. So who knows? It should be a fun weekend. I hope everyone has a great time. Thank you once again to Vaughn and Perch for joining us.
Thank you for having
And I
me.
think this was a good time, fellas.
Thanks
I'm
a
going to
lot.
bail.
Thank you guys so
Getting
much.
out of here.
Get out.